Stop right now, my child, and do not let this moment slip past you, because something is blocking your blessings, and I am about to show you exactly what it is. You have been praying, waiting, hoping, and wondering why certain doors still feel shut, why peace still feels delayed, and why the breakthrough you asked for has not fully arrived. This is not a casual message, and it is not one you can afford to hear halfway. Stay with me. Listen closely. Let every word settle. Watch until the very end, because what I reveal may uncover the hidden weight, the silent struggle, or the secret resistance that has been standing between you and what I have prepared for you. If you leave too soon, you may miss the very truth that was sent to set you free. My child, the first thing I need you to see is that one of the greatest things standing between you and the peace you have been asking me for is not always the enemy outside of you. Sometimes it is the pain you are still carrying inside of you. You have been asking me to open doors, to bring healing, to release what I promised, and I hear every one of those prayers. But there are moments when your hands are still so full of old hurt that you cannot fully receive what I am trying to place into your life. You may tell yourself that you are over it. You may say that you have moved on. You may think that because you no longer talk about what happened, it no longer has power over you. But I see deeper than your words. I see the places in your heart that still tighten when certain memories return. I see how your spirit reacts when a certain name crosses your mind. I see how quickly sadness turns into anger, and how often silence becomes the hiding place for wounds you never truly surrendered to me. What hurt you was real. I am not dismissing that. I was there when it happened. I saw what they said. I saw what they did not say. I saw how you trusted and how that trust was mishandled. I saw the disappointment, the betrayal, the abandonment, the unfairness. I saw the way you smiled in front of others while carrying the weight of that pain in private. But I need you to understand something that can change your life if you let it reach your heart. Unforgiveness does not keep you safe. It keeps you bound to the very thing you want freedom from. It ties your peace to a moment I have already been asking you to release. It keeps your heart turned toward the wound instead of toward the healing I have been offering you. Forgiveness is not pretending it did not matter. Forgiveness is not saying they were right. Forgiveness is not giving them permission to hurt you again. Forgiveness is when you finally stop carrying what should have been placed in my hands. It is when you trust me enough to be the one who handles justice, while you allow me to begin restoring your heart. Some of what feels blocked in your life is not because I have forgotten you. It is because the pain you keep revisiting has become a wall around your heart. And I am asking you now, very gently but very clearly, let me tear that wall down. Let me into the places you still guard. Let me heal what you have been protecting. You do not need to stay angry to prove that what happened mattered. I already know it mattered. You do not need to keep bleeding to prove you were wounded. I already saw the wound. Bring it to me now. Give me the names, the memories, the disappointment, the bitterness, the questions, and the ache you still carry when no one is looking. If you let go, you are not losing. You are making room. And what I have for you cannot fully settle in a heart still holding on to yesterday's pain. My child, I need you to come closer and listen with an open heart, because the next thing I want to show you is something that has been quietly shaping your life for longer than you realize. It is fear. Not always the kind that makes you tremble or panic, but the kind that slips into your choices and disguises itself as wisdom. You have called it being careful. You have called it waiting for the right moment. You have told yourself you were just protecting your peace. But I have seen the deeper truth. I have watched you stand at the edge of opportunities I placed before you, and instead of stepping forward, You stepped back because the unknown felt too uncomfortable. I have seen you silence your own voice when I was asking you to speak. I have watched you delay the very thing you prayed for because once it appeared, it required courage you did not feel ready to carry. I do not say this to shame you. I say it because I love you, and I want you free. Fear has been whispering into your ear for so long that some of its lies have started to sound like your own thoughts. It has told you that if you try, you might fail. It has told you that if you trust again, you might get hurt. It has told you that if you move forward, you might lose what little stability you have left. And because you have been wounded before, those lies have felt believable. But listen to me now. Fear has never been a faithful guide for your life. It does not lead you into peace. It leads you into paralysis. It keeps you circling the same mountain while calling it safety. It keeps your hand on closed doors while I'm asking you to walk toward the ones I am opening. So I am inviting you now, and I am also commanding you in love. Stop letting fear sit in the seat that belongs to trust. Stop asking fear for permission to obey me. Stop waiting until every detail feels safe before you move. Come out of that inner prison. Lift your head. Take one honest step toward what I have been placing on your heart. Say yes to the conversation you have been avoiding. Say yes to the change you know is necessary. Say yes to the dream you keep pushing aside because it feels too large. You do not need to feel fearless before you begin. You need to let me hold your hand while you move. I am not asking you to understand everything before you trust me. I'm asking you to stop bowing to the voice that keeps shrinking your life. Fear has stolen enough from you. Remove it now. Wish it out. Breathe deeply, surrender the outcome, and follow where I am leading. What is waiting on the other side of your obedience is far greater than the comfort fear keeps promising you. My child, there is another reason some of your blessings feel delayed, and I need you to hear this with honesty and tenderness, because this is where many hearts stay stuck without realizing it. You are still trying to carry something that I have already been asking you to release. It may be a person you keep returning to even though they keep draining your spirit. It may be an old habit that gives you temporary relief but slowly steals your strength. It may be a mindset that once helped you survive, but now it is stopping you from becoming who I am calling you to be. It may even be an old version of yourself that feels familiar, even though it no longer belongs in the season I am preparing for you. You keep asking me for the new, but your hands are still wrapped around the old. You keep asking me to send the blessing, but you are still making room for what I have already marked as finished. I need you to understand something important. When I ask you to let go, I am not trying to take joy from you. I am not trying to empty your life. I am making space. I am clearing what no longer fits. I am removing what would poison what I am about to build. Some things felt good because they were familiar, not because they were healthy. Some doors stayed open because you were afraid of the silence that would come after closing them. Some attachments remained because you mistook emotional history for spiritual assignment. But I am calling you higher now, and I need your full attention. Release what keeps pulling you backward. Close what I have already shown you is not for your future. Stop revisiting what I already delivered you from. Stop calling it loyalty when it is actually bondage. Stop calling it comfort when it is quietly draining the life out of your soul. I am inviting you into freedom, but freedom requires an open hand. So open your hand now. Let the relationship go if it keeps wounding your peace. Walk away from the habit if it keeps clouding your spirit. Lay down the identity that no longer reflects who you are becoming. Do not cling to what is familiar just because it has been with you for a long time. Not everything that stayed was meant to stay forever. Some things were only for a season, and that season is over. Trust me enough to my groom. Trust me enough to close the door without needing to know every detail of what comes next. If I am asking you to release it, it is because I see what you cannot see. Let go now, my child. Let go gently, but let go fully. What I have ahead for you cannot fully arrive while your heart is still anchored to what I already told you to leave. My child, come closer and let me speak to a place in you that is easy to overlook because it does not always look harsh or obvious. One of the things blocking what I have been trying to release into your life is pride, and it has been hiding in places you may not have recognized. You may think pride only belongs to the loud, the arrogant, the self-exalting. But pride can live in much quieter corners. It can show up when you refuse correction because it makes you uncomfortable. It can rise when you know you were wrong, yet you keep defending yourself because admitting the truth feels too costly. It can even hide behind the image you work so hard to maintain, the version of yourself you keep presenting because you do not want anyone to see how much you still need healing. I see all of it, and I am not speaking to expose you with shame. I am speaking to rescue you from what keeps resisting the very hand that is trying to lift you. Pride has a way of making you cling to control while calling it strength. It can make you reject wisdom while telling yourself you already understand enough. It can keep you from apologizing, from asking for help, from surrendering what is clearly not working, simply because your heart does not want to bow. But listen to me now. What you protect with pride, you often lose in private. What you hide behind pride, I cannot fully heal until you let me touch it. So stop covering what I already see. Stop defending what I am trying to correct. Lay down the need to appear strong when what you truly need is to be honest. Open your hands. Open your heart. Tell me the truth about where you have been resisting. Admit where your own will has been louder than my instruction. Let humility become the doorway. Humility is not weakness. It is wisdom with soft hands. It is the courage to say, Lord, I need you here. It is the strength to receive correction without collapsing. It is the freedom to be teachable, tender, and honest. If you want doors to open, let pride stop guarding them. If you want peace to return, let humility enter the room first. Come down from the place where you have been striving to prove yourself and step into the place where you let me transform you. I can guide a humble heart. I can restore a teachable spirit. I can pour fresh grace into a life that no longer insists on doing everything its own way. So release the mask. Let the walls fall. Bow your heart before me and let me lead you. The blessing is not far, my child, but pride has been standing in the doorway too long. Move it aside and watch what begins to change. My child, as you lay down pride and open the door I have been knocking on, do not stop at your own freedom. What I am releasing into you is meant to flow through you like oil that does not run dry. When you give, you are not losing. You are sowing into a harvest that reaches souls still trapped behind the same walls I just revealed to you. I tell you now, whoever sows generously will also reap generously, and this word is alive for you in this moment. This is your invitation to partner with me, to help carry this light into places where pride still blinds hearts from truth. Your seed becomes a key that unlocks chains in lives you may never see, but I see them. Do not hesitate, for this is a divine moment, a sacred exchange between your obedience and my expansion. I will breathe upon what you release and multiply it beyond your understanding. So act now, give through super thanks, join as a member, or send your offering through PayPal in the description, and watch what I open because you move. My child, I need to speak to you with loving clarity now, because this next truth is not comfortable, but it is necessary if you truly want the blockage removed. There are places in your life where you have been asking me for blessing while quietly resisting the very instruction I already gave you. You have prayed for peace, yet you keep returning to what disturbs your spirit. You have asked for clarity, yet you avoid the step I already made clear. You have asked me to open doors, yet you are still standing in habits, conversations, and compromises that I have been asking you to leave behind. I am not saying this to condemn you. I am saying it because I want you aligned. My love for you has never been in question. My mercy has never left you. But blessing flows differently when your heart is aligned with what I am saying than when your life is constantly pulling in the opposite direction. Disobedience does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like delay. Sometimes it looks like half surrender. Sometimes it looks like saying, "I know, Lord," while continuing exactly as you were before. And over time, that quiet resistance builds friction in your soul. It leaves you tired, confused, and spiritually heavy, because deep down you know I already spoke. So do not keep asking me for another sign when you have not obeyed the last one. Do not keep waiting for thunder when I already gave you a whisper. Come back to the last place where you clearly heard me, and obey from there. If I told you to walk away, then walk away. If I told you to forgive, then forgive. If I told you to end the compromise, then end it. If I told you to begin, then begin. Stop bargaining with the instruction. Stop delaying what you already know is right. Obedience is not punishment. It is alignment. It is how your life comes back into agreement with the peace, protection, and purpose I have for you. I do not ask you to obey because I want to control you. I ask you to obey because I can see what you cannot. I know where that road leads. I know what that pattern costs. I know what that hidden compromise will eventually steal from you if you keep feeding it. So choose life now. Choose peace now. Choose the hard right thing instead of the easy draining thing. Let your yes be real. Let your surrender have substance. Invite me into the area you keep postponing, and then act on what I show you. Move, my child. Do not just feel convicted. Respond. The blessing you keep asking for is not always being withheld. Sometimes it is waiting for your obedience to make room for it. My child, I need you to pay close attention here, because this is one of the quietest ways blessings get delayed, and many do not recognize it until the weight has already settled over their lives. Your words have been shaping the atmosphere around you. I hear what comes out of your mouth when no one else is listening. I hear what you say when you are tired, disappointed, frustrated, or afraid. I hear the names you call yourself in private. I hear the hopeless things you say about your future as if the story is already over. I hear how quickly you speak defeat over situations I am still working on. And I need you to understand this with seriousness and love. Your words are not empty. They carry agreement. They carry direction. They either open your heart to what I am doing, or they keep reinforcing the darkness that has been pressing against you. I know life has hurt you. I know there have been seasons where it felt easier to expect disappointment than to believe for something good. But when you constantly say, "Nothing will change, I always fail, my life will never get better," it is too late for me. You are planting thorns in the very soil where I am trying to grow hope. Stop speaking over your life as if I am absent. Stop calling yourself broken beyond repair when I am still healing you. Stop naming your future from the pain of your present. I am asking you now, guard your mouth. Slow down before you speak. Catch the words that come from fear before they become agreement. Invite me into your speech. Let your words begin to reflect trust, even while you are still waiting. Speak with honesty, but do not make a home in despair. Say, "Lord, I do not understand this, but I trust you. Say, this season is hard, but you are still with me. Say, I am healing, even if I am not fully there yet. Those words matter. They soften the room your soul lives in. They change the climate around your heart. And my child, you not only change how you speak about circumstances, change how you speak about yourself. Stop cursing what I created. Stop insulting the one I am still shaping. You are not a lost cause. You are not forgotten. You are not too damaged for me to restore. Let your voice stop partnering with defeat. Let your words become a place where faith can breathe again. Speak life over your mind. Speak peace over your home. Speak hope over your future. Open your mouth and bless what the enemy wanted you to bury. The atmosphere around your life can shift faster than you realize when your own voice stops echoing darkness and starts agreeing with the one who still calls you chosen, covered, and capable of walking into what I have prepared. My child, come sit with me for a moment and let me show you something with gentleness, because this has been draining you more than you realize. You have been feeding distraction more than you have been feeding your spirit. You have been filling your days with noise, movement, scrolling, checking, watching, reacting, and staying just busy enough to avoid the deeper places where I have been trying to meet you. And because of that, your soul has grown tired in a way that rest alone cannot fix. You may think you are simply unwinding. You may tell yourself you just need a break. But often what you are calling rest is actually escape. It is not restoring you. It is numbing you. It is keeping you occupied while your inner life slowly dries out. I see how quickly you reach for your phone when silence begins to feel uncomfortable. I see how often you fill every quiet moment so you do not have to sit with what is unsettled inside you. I see how the noise has become normal, and because it feels normal, you no longer notice how hard it has become to hear me clearly. My child, I do not compete with chaos. I speak in places where your heart is willing to slow down. Some of what feels like blockage is not because I have stopped speaking. It is because your attention hath been scattered in 100 directions. Your spirit cannot stay strong if it is being starved while your distractions are constantly being fed. So I am asking you now, make room for me again. Put the noise down. Turn the volume off. Step away from what keeps pulling at your mind every few seconds. Sit with me before you reach for the world. Start your day with me before you start reacting to everything else. Protect the quiet. Guard the sacred space. Let your soul breathe. Open your Bible. Whisper your prayer. Stay long enough for your thoughts to settle. Stay long enough for your heart to unclench. Stay long enough for my peace to rise above the static. I am inviting you back to the secret place, not because I want to burden you with more effort, but because I want to restore what distraction has been stealing. When your spirit is nourished, your discernment sharpens. When your heart is still, your peace becomes stronger. When your attention returns to me, what once felt confusing starts becoming clear. Come back, my child. Return to the quiet place. Close the tabs in your mind. Let the endless noise lose its grip. I have been waiting for you there, and what you have been asking me for will begin to feel closer when your soul is no longer drowning in distraction. My child, come closer and listen carefully, because this next thing is deeply personal, and it reaches far beneath your circumstances. Some of what is blocking your blessings is not around you at all. It is the identity you have been carrying, the version of yourself you have accepted because pain handed it to you, and you wore it for so long that it started to feel like your own skin. You have been moving through life under names I never gave you. You have called yourself too broken, too late, too difficult, too damaged, too weak, too ordinary, too far gone. You may not say those exact words out loud, but I hear them in the way you shrink when opportunity comes near. I see them in the way you expect rejection before anyone has spoken. I see them in the way you hesitate to receive love, peace, favor, or healing because some part of you still believes those things belong to someone else more than they belong to you. My child, those labels were formed in moments of hurt. Some were placed on you by people who spoke from their own wounds. Some came from seasons where failure bruised your confidence. Some came from silence, abandonment, disappointment, or the long ache of being misunderstood. But hear me clearly now. Pain may have introduced those names, but I never signed my name beneath them. They are not mine. They do not carry my voice. They do not reflect what I see when I look at you. So stop wearing what I never gave you. Let go of. Lay it down. Let those false names fall to the ground. You are not what betrayal made you feel. You are not what rejection suggested. You are not the sum of your worst decisions or your most painful seasons. I know every part of your story, and I still call you mine. I still call you chosen. I still call you beloved. I still call you capable of becoming everything I designed you to be. But you must let me retrain the way you see yourself. Invite me into the inner conversation you keep having in silence. Let me interrupt the voice that keeps talking you out of what I am sending. Let me heal the lens through which you view your own life. If you keep expecting disappointment, you will resist what feels too good to be true. If you keep agreeing with unworthiness, you will sabotage the blessing because deep down you will not know how to receive it. So stand still for a moment. Reem, let me speak over you again. You are not disqualified. You are not invisible. You are not beyond restoration. Come out of the shadow of old labels and step into the truth of who you are in me. Your blessing has been knocking, but the false identity hath been answering the door. Change that now, my child. Let the real you rise. My child, now that you are laying down the false identity, step fully into the truth of who you are in me, a giver, a vessel, a carrier of my voice. The blessing knocking at your door is not only for you to receive, but for you to release into the lives of others still bound by the same lies. When you give, you declare, I am no longer limited, I am aligned with heaven's abundance. I have said, you are the light of the world, and light does not hide. It shines, it spreads, it reaches. Your generosity becomes a river that washes away despair in places you cannot reach physically but can touch spiritually. This is not small, and this is not SL Huchea Ikaki. This is a divine alignment where your action carries eternal weight. I will honor what you release, and I will return it pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Do not delay what I am stirring in you right now. Move, give through super thanks, step into membership, or sow through PayPal in the description, and let your true identity rise through obedience. My child, I need you to let this truth reach your heart, because it has quietly delayed your freedom in ways you may not have fully understood. You have been looking for human approval, and it has been costing you more than you realize. You have spent so much energy measuring your choices by how they will be received, how they will be interpreted, who might be disappointed, who might pull away, who might misunderstand you, and because of that, you have been living with a divided heart. You want to obey me, but you also want to keep everyone comfortable. You want to walk in truth, but you also want to avoid conflict. You want to step into what I am calling you toward, but you hesitate because someone might not clap, someone might not agree, someone might not stay. And my child, that need for approval has become a leash around your soul. I see how often you say yes when your spirit is already tired. I see how often you shrink your voice because you do not want to be seen as difficult, different, or too much. I see how many times you have ignored your own conviction because someone else's opinion felt louder in the moment. But listen to me now. If you keep building your life around being accepted by everyone, you will keep stepping away from the very path I designed for you. People are not your compass. Your applause is not your assignment. Their approval cannot become the price of your obedience. So release that burden now. Stop editing yourself to be more acceptable to those who were never meant to define you. Stop calling it kindness when it is actually fear of rejection. Stop sacrificing your peace to keep a false sense of harmony. Come back to me. Ask me what I am asking of you, and then trust me enough to follow through, even if it costs you comfort. Some people will not understand the boundaries you set. Some will not celebrate the changes you make. Some will become distant when you stop being available for what drains you. Let them. Do not chase validation from hands that cannot bless your future. Stay close to my voice. Let my approval become the place where your heart rests. When you know who you are before me, you stop begging to be seen by those who cannot truly see you. You stop bending yourself into shapes that keep breaking you. You stop living for borrowed permission. So stand up, my child. Lift your head. Make the decision you know is right. Say no where you need to say no. Speak the truth with gentleness. Walk away where I'm asking you to walk away. And do not keep looking over your shoulder for applause. What I am leading you into requires courage, not consensus. Let people go if they must go. Let misunderstanding happen if it must happen. But do not lose yourself trying to be loved by everyone when you are already fully known and fully loved by me. My child, I need you to be very honest with yourself here, because this is one of the most subtle thieves in your life, and it has been stealing more than your joy. It has been stealing your peace, your focus, and your ability to recognize what I am already doing in you. You have been comparing your life to people around you, to people you know, to people you only see through fragments and appearances, and each time you do, something inside you grows restless. You look at their timing and question your own. You see their progress and start doubting whether I am still moving in your life. You watch their relationships, their success, their healing, their opportunities, and quietly ask why your path seems slower, harder, or more hidden. I hear those questions, my child, and I understand the ache beneath them. But I need you to stop using someone else's season as the ruler for your soul. What you see in another person is not the full story. You are seeing a chapter, not the whole book. You are seeing fruit, not always the roots. You are seeing arrival, not always the years of pruning, pain, silence, and shaping that came before it. And when you keep staring sideways, you lose sight of what I am doing directly in front of you. Comparison turns gratitude into grief. It makes your own blessings feel smaller because they do not look like someone else's. It makes your own journey feel delayed when in truth, it is being prepared with care. So stop measuring your life against timelines I never assigned to you. Stop asking why you are not there yet when I am still building what you will need when you arrive. Come back to your own path. Return to your own lane. Look at what I have already carried you through. Look at how far you have come. Look at the quiet strength I have been growing in you, the healing I have been doing beneath the surface, the wisdom I have been forming in places no one else can see. Invite me into the places where envy hath been quietly taking root. Bring me the moments when you smile for others, but feel discouraged in secret. Let me cleanse your heart from the pressure to match what was never meant to be copied. Your life is not behind. Your story is not lesser. Your pace is not punishment. I am not rushing you because I know exactly what your future requires. So breathe. Release the comparison. Bless what I am doing in others, but do not abandon what I am doing in you. Celebrate without shrinking. Trust without competing. Lift your eyes from their path and place them back on mine. The peace you have been asking for will return when you stop chasing another person's timing and start honoring the one I have chosen for you. My child, come closer now, because this next truth touches a place in you that has been tired for a long time. You have been trying to control things that should have been surrendered, and it is wearing you down in ways you can no longer afford. I see how your mind keeps circling the same situations, replaying conversations, rehearsing outcomes, trying to predict what might happen next, trying to manage every possibility before it arrives. You call it responsibility. You call it being prepared. You call it staying ahead so you do not get hurt again. But underneath all of that, I see the deeper burden. You are afraid that if you do not hold everything together, it will all fall apart. And because of that, you have been carrying what was never meant to live in your hands. My child, control can look so wise on the outside while quietly exhausting your soul on the inside. It keeps you tense. It keeps you restless. It keeps you in a constant state of inner strain, where peace never fully settles because your heart is always bracing for impact. But hear me clearly now. You were never called to manage the whole future. You were never asked to hold every outcome. You were never meant to become your own savior. That place belongs to me. So release your grip. Open your hands. Stop trying to force what I am asking you to trust. Stop trying to solve what I have asked you to surrender. Stop checking the same door over and over as if your anxiety can make it open faster. Come away from the pressure. Sit with me. Bring me the relationship you keep trying to fix by overthinking. Bring me the financial burden you keep carrying in your chest. Bring me the family situation you keep trying to hold together with fear. Bring me the future you keep trying to map out because uncertainty makes you uncomfortable. Lay it down, my child. Lay it all down. Surrender is not losing control. It is releasing a false burden you were never built to carry. When you surrender, you do not become passive. You become peaceful. You do what is yours to do, and then you let me be who I am. I can move where your striving cannot. I can make a way where your planning has reached its limit. I can bring order where your panic has only brought pressure. So breathe deeply. Unclench your spirit. Tell me honestly, Lord, I cannot carry this anymore. And trust me enough to mean it. The blessing you keep asking for may be waiting in the very place where your control finally ends and your surrender finally begins. Step into that place now and let me carry what has been crushing you. My child, come near and let me speak gently to the part of you that has grown tired from waiting, because I know the waiting has not only tested your patience, it has touched your heart in deeper ways. There is a kind of delay that does more than make you weary. It can slowly make you guarded. It can make you cautious with hope. It can make you stop expecting good things because disappointment has visited you too many times. I have watched that happen in you. I have seen how prayers that once came from a soft and open heart now sometimes come through clenched emotions and quiet frustration. I have seen how some of your hope has turned into hesitation. You still pray, but part of you braces for silence. You still ask, but another part of you is already preparing for letdown. My child, I understand why. I know the ache of unanswered prayers. I know how long some nights have felt. I know how deeply you wanted certain doors to open, certain people to stay, certain burdens to lift, and when they did not, something in you began to harden in places you did not notice at first. But listen to me now with all your heart. Delay is not proof that I have denied you. Delay is not evidence that I have forgotten you. Delay is often where I am doing my deepest work, even when you cannot see it. The danger is not only in the waiting itself. The danger is in what the waiting can do inside you if you let bitterness settle in. Bitterness turns prayer into suspicion. It turns expectation into emotional distance. It can make you stand in front of the very blessing you asked for and still struggle to receive it because your heart has learned to protect itself from hope. So I am asking you now, do not let the long road make you cold. Do not let the silence teach you to stop trusting me. Bring me the disappointment you have been carrying. Bring me the frustration you have hidden under spiritual language. Tell me honestly where the delay has wounded you. Tell me where your faith has grown tired. Tell me where you feel overlooked. I can handle your honesty. I would rather have your real heart than your polished words. Open the places you closed. Let me soften what has become stiff with sorrow. Let me pour warmth where waiting has made you numb. Stay tender with me, my child. Stay open. Refuse the slow poison of bitterness. Do not let your heart become a locked room because the answer took longer than you expected. Keep the door open. Keep the soil soft. Keep the lamp burning. What you have been waiting for may be closer than it feels, and I do not want you to miss it because pain taught you to stop believing. Come back into trust. Let me heal the damage delay has done. Your blessing still knows your name, and your heart must be ready when it arrives. My child, as I soften your heart again and wash away the bitterness of delay, I call you into a higher response, trust that moves, faith that acts. The waiting has not been wasted, and what you release now becomes part of the harvest I have been preparing all along. I tell you, those who sow in tears will reap with psalms of joy, and I see every tear you have carried. Your giving in this moment is not just generosity. It is healing in motion, a declaration that delay did not defeat your faith. Through your seed, my word will reach hearts still growing cold, still struggling to believe again. This is your moment to turn pain into purpose, waiting into witness, and sorrow into seed. I will breathe life into what you offer and return it as restoration, peace, and unexpected favor. Do not hold back what I am asking for now. Act, if through super thanks. Join in membership, or sow through PayPal in the description, and watch how I redeem the time. My child, I want you to be honest with yourself now, because this next thing is not always dramatic, but it has been quietly draining your strength and clouding your spirit. You have been entertaining what weakens you. I am not only speaking about obvious sin or destructive choices, though sometimes that is part of it. I am also speaking about the conversations you keep allowing, the environments you keep revisiting, the content you keep consuming, the emotional patterns you keep feeding, and the people you keep giving access to even when you already know they leave your heart heavy. You have been asking me for clarity, but you keep sitting in confusion. You have been asking me for peace, but you keep welcoming what disturbs your inner world. You have been asking me for strength, yet you keep making room for things that slowly wear your spirit down. And my child, I say this with love, you cannot keep drinking from polluted wells and wonder why your soul feels sick. Not everything that feels familiar is safe. Not everything that feels normal is healthy. Some things have become routine in your life simply because they have been there for a long time, but they are still draining you. I see how certain voices stir anxiety in you. I see how certain habits leave you numb afterward. I see how some spaces pull you back into old thinking, old cravings, old wounds, old reactions. And I need you to stop calling that harmless. Guard your gates. Protect your mind. Be more careful with what you permit into your spirit. If it keeps stealing your peace, pay attention. If it keeps pulling you away from prayer, pay attention. If it keeps weakening your resolve, dulling your conviction, and making you feel spiritually foggy, do not keep inviting it in. Close the door. Change the pattern. Walk away from the table if the atmosphere is poisoning your soul. You do not have to keep tolerating what is slowly tearing down what I am trying to build. I am inviting you into a clearer space. I am calling you into strength, but strength grows where you stop feeding what makes you weak. So examine your life with courage. Ask me to show you what needs to go. Ask me to reveal what you have excused for too long. And act. Do not just feel conviction and move on. Remove it. Unfollow it. Leave it. End it. Limit it. Step back from it. Whatever form it takes, do what is necessary. This is not about legalism. This is about freedom. This is about protecting the peace you keep asking me to increase. You are too precious to keep living with open doors to what drains you. Clear the space, my child. Let the weak things fall away. What I am strengthening in you deserves better ground than what you have been allowing. My child, come sit with me and do not rush past this part, because what I am about to show you is deeply connected to why some of your blessings still feel out of reach. You have been asking me for the next chapter, for the new relationship, the new peace, the new joy, the new beginning, but you have been delaying the healing work that prepares your heart to carry it. I know why. Healing is not always quick, and it is rarely comfortable. It asks you to revisit places you wanted to bury. It asks you to face what hurt you instead of pretending it no longer matters. It asks you to stop calling survival the same thing as restoration. And my child, you have survived so much. I know how hard you fought just to keep going. I know how many times you smiled while carrying pain that no one else could see. I know how often you told yourself that as long as you kept moving, you were fine. But movement is not always healing. Functioning is not always freedom. You can still be productive and wounded. You can still be faithful and bleeding. You can still be praying and carrying hidden fractures inside your soul. That is why I am calling you closer now. Stop postponing the places I have been trying to touch. Stop pushing aside the grief, the rejection, the betrayal, the abandonment, the shame, the fear, the memories that still rise when the room gets quiet. Invite me into them. Let me in. You not only ask me to bless the surface of your life while the deeper rooms stay locked. Open the door. Bring me the places that still ache when certain names are mentioned. Bring me the parts of you that still flinch when love gets close. Bring me the wounds that keep shaping your reactions without your permission. If you do not let me heal what happened, you will keep dragging yesterday into tomorrow. You will step into a new season and still respond from old pain. Then you will wonder why the blessing feels heavy, why the relationship feels fragile, why the opportunity feels overwhelming, when the deeper truth is that the wound was still speaking. So do not delay this any longer. Sit with me. Cry if you need to. Tell me what you have been avoiding. Be honest about what still hurts. Let healing become holy work, not optional work. I am not asking you to do it all in one moment. I am asking you to stop running from it. Start now. Let me touch the bruised places. Let me rebuild what was broken. Let me clean what was infected by silence. The blessing you keep asking for is not only about what I want to give you. It is also about who I am preparing you to be when it arrives. And my child, I want you whole enough to receive it without fear, without sabotage, and without carrying old chains into a brand new room. My child, I need you to listen closely here, because this truth can free you if you let it. You have been calling temporary comfort peace, and that confusion has kept you settling for far less than what I want to give you. There is a difference, and it matters more than you realize. Peace is what settles your soul when you are anchored in me. Comfort, on the other hand, can simply be a short escape from what you do not want to feel. It can look harmless. It can even feel soothing in a moment. But not everything that relaxes you is restoring you. Not everything that distracts you is healing you. Some of the things you keep turning to when you are tired, lonely, anxious, or overwhelmed are not bringing true peace. They are just helping you avoid pain for a little while. It may be a habit you return to when your heart feels heavy. It may be a relationship you keep revisiting because the familiarity feels easier than the emptiness. It may be endless scrolling, overreading, overworking, emotional withdrawal, entertainment without limit, or shutting down inside yourself whenever life becomes too loud. I see what you reach for when the pressure builds. I see the places you go when you do not know how to sit with what is hurting. And I say this with compassion, not judgment. Relief is not the same as restoration. Temporary comfort can make you feel okay for an hour while leaving your soul untouched. It can numb what needs healing and quiet what needs truth. Then when the moment passes, the ache returns, and you wonder why the heaviness never really leaves. My child, I do not want you living from one emotional escape to the next. I do not want you surviving on substitutes when I am offering something deeper. Come out of that cycle. Step away from the false refuge. Stop calling it peace when it only postpones the pain. Bring the ache to me instead. Bring the loneliness to me. Bring the restlessness to me. Sit with me when you want to run. Pray when you want to numb. Be still when you want to escape. Let me meet you in the place where you usually reach for the quick fix. I am not trying to take comfort from you because I enjoy your struggle. I am trying to lead you into something stronger, steadier, and sacred. My peace does not vanish when the distraction ends. My peace stays. My peace breathes in the middle of uncertainty. My peace holds you together when your emotions are loud. My peace reaches the root instead of covering the symptoms. So choose wisely now. Pay attention to what you keep calling relief. Ask yourself if it is truly healing you or simply hiding the wound for a little while. Then make the brave decision. Turn from the counterfeit and return to the real. Come rest in me, my child. Let me give you peace that is not shallow, not borrowed, and not temporary. What I offer is deeper than comfort, and it will carry you farther than anything you have been using to cope. My child, come close and listen carefully, because this next thing has been draining your strength in ways you do not always notice until your peace is already gone. Your hands have been full of worry. You have been carrying tomorrow before it arrives. You have been trying to solve conversations that have not happened yet, prepare for outcomes you cannot control, and rehearse every possible problem as if thinking about it long enough might somehow protect you. I see how your mind keeps circling the same concerns when the room grows quiet. I see how you lie down at night but your thoughts keep marching. I see how your chest tightens when you think about money, health, family, timing, relationships, and the future. And I need you to hear me clearly, my child. Worry is not the same as wisdom. It is not proof that you care deeply. It is not evidence that you are being responsible. Worry is a heavy, hungry thing. It feeds on uncertainty and then convinces you that your fear is helping. But it is not helping you. It is stealing from you. It steals sleep. It steals focus. It steals joy from moments that were meant to be lived, not fear. It crowds your inner world until there is hardly any room left for trust. And when your heart stays full of worry, it becomes harder for you to notice the ways I am already carrying you. So stop now. Pause. Breathe. Open those clenched hands. You were never meant to grip the future that tightly. Bring me the thoughts you keep replaying. Bring me the worst-case scenarios you keep building in your mind. Bring me the burden you keep carrying like a backpack full of stones. Hand it over. Speak it plainly. Tell me what you are afraid of. Tell me what feels unstable. Tell me what keeps you awake. I am not asking you to pretend nothing matters. I am asking you to stop bowing to what you cannot control. Do what is yours to do, but do not drag tomorrow into today and call it preparation. Pray instead of spiraling. Rest instead of rehearsing disaster. Return to me each time your mind runs wild. Invite me into the moment where fear begins to swell. Say, Lord, this is too heavy for me, and mean it. Let trust become your shelter. Let peace return to the places worry has crowded out. My child, some of the blessings you are asking for are already moving toward you, but your soul has been so busy bracing for trouble that you have not been able to feel the nearness of what I am doing. Set the burden down. Release it. I am already in your tomorrow, and I will still be there when you arrive. My child, as you release the weight of worry and open your hands before me, let them not remain empty. Fill them with purpose, with trust, with giving. What you place into my work becomes a seed that speaks louder than fear and stronger than uncertainty. I have said, do not worry about tomorrow, and this is how you live that truth, by trusting me enough to release what you hold today. Your offering becomes a flame in the darkness, reaching souls who are still drowning in the same anxieties I am freeing you from. This is not just giving. This is stepping out of fear and into faith that moves mountains. I see your needs, and I promise you this. What you entrust to me, I will sustain, protect, and multiply. Do not let hesitation steal this moment of alignment. Move now. Give through super thanks. Stand with this mission through membership, or send your seed through PayPal in the description, and let peace follow your obedience. My child, I need you to hear this with courage, because this next truth will protect more than your peace. It will protect your healing, your calling, and the blessing I am building in your life. You have ignored the need for boundaries. You have kept giving access to people, patterns, and pressures that keep leaving you drained, confused, and emotionally worn thin. I see how often you reopen doors I already tried to close. I see how often you answer the message, return the call, revisit the place, tolerate the treatment, or keep entertaining the same cycle because part of you still hopes it will somehow become different. Sometimes you call it love. Sometimes you call it loyalty. Sometimes you tell yourself you are just being kind, patient, or understanding. But my child, love does not require you to keep offering your peace as a sacrifice. Kindness does not mean constant self-betrayal. Compassion does not mean endless access for those who repeatedly wound what I am trying to heal. Some people do not need more explanations from you. Some situations do not need one more chance. Some patterns need a clear ending, not another emotional negotiation. I know it feels hard because boundaries can feel like loss at first. They can make you feel guilty. They can stir fear that someone will be upset, disappointed, or offended. But listen to me carefully. Not everyone who gets upset by your boundary was ever honoring your well-being in the first place. Some only felt comfortable when you had none. So I am asking you now, protect what I am restoring in you. Guard the quiet places. Guard your energy. Guard your time. Guard your heart from constant interruption by what keeps undoing your progress. Stop handing keys to people who keep misusing the rooms of your soul. Close the gate where it needs to be closed. Limit the access where it needs to be limited. Walk away from the cycle where it needs to end. This is not cruelty. This is wisdom. This is stewardship. This is you finally honoring what I have been growing inside you. Invite me into the places where you struggle to say no. Let me strengthen your voice where guilt has made you weak. Let me remind you that boundaries are not walls against love. They are doors with discernment. They let in what is healthy and keep out what destroys peace. My child, you cannot keep asking me to build something beautiful in your life while leaving the door wide open for what keeps trampling the garden. Protect the ground. Tend the soil. Be brave enough to say, this access ends here. When you do, you are not pushing away what is good. You are making room for what is holy, healthy, and aligned with the future I am leading you into. My child, come closer and let me speak to the place in you that keeps shrinking back, because one of the reasons your blessings feel delayed is that you keep doubting what I already planted inside you. I have placed gifts in you. I have placed wisdom in you. I have placed discernment, ideas, strength, compassion, endurance, and a calling that is not random. But instead of nurturing what I gave you, you have been questioning it. You keep looking at what is in your hands and treating it as if it is too small to matter. You keep waiting for more confidence before you obey. You keep asking for more signs when I already gave you enough light for the next step. I see how quickly you dismiss the ideas I whisper into your spirit. I see how often you compare your beginnings to someone else's middle and then convince yourself that what I placed in you is not enough. But hear me now, my child, and let this settle deep inside you. I do not plant empty things. I do not place seeds in your life with no intention of growth. If I gave it to you, it has purpose. If I stirred it in you, it is not meaningless. If it keeps returning to your heart, do not keep treating it like a passing thought. Stop talking yourself out of what I already trusted you with. Stop burying the seed because the tree is not visible yet. Stop calling yourself unready when I am the one who is shaping you as you go. You are not meant to know every detail before you begin. You are not meant to feel completely prepared before you move. Faith often starts in the soil before it ever reaches the surface. So begin where you are. Take the small step. Write the thing. Make the call. Start the work. Pray over the gift. Use what you have. Offer me your little and let me breathe on it. Do not despise the beginning because it looks humble. Some of the greatest things I build start quietly, in hidden places, before anyone else notices. Invite me into your insecurity. Bring me the fear that keeps telling you that you are not enough. Let me remind you that I am not asking you to carry the whole outcome. I am asking you to steward the seed. I will handle the growth. I will handle the timing. I will handle the increase. But you must stop doubting what I already placed in your life. Do not leave your gift sitting in silence while waiting for perfect certainty. Move with me now. Trust what I have deposited in you. The blessing you keep asking for may be connected to the very thing you have been underestimating. Water it. Protect it. Use it. Let what I planted in you rise. My child, I need you to slow down and really hear me here, because what you have been calling blockage may actually be exhaustion, and not the kind that sleep alone can fix. You have been living spiritually exhausted. You have been pushing through, showing up, surviving, functioning, and from the outside it may even look like you are holding everything together. But I see deeper. I see how tired your inner world has become. I see how heavy simple things have started to feel. I see how quickly discouragement finds you when you are worn down. I see how your thoughts feel scattered, how your patience feels thinner, how your joy feels farther away than it used to. And my child, when your spirit is depleted, everything can begin to feel harder than it truly is. Even good things can feel like pressure. Even blessings can feel overwhelming because you do not have the inner strength to receive them well. That is why I need you to stop assuming you only need another breakthrough when what you may need first is deep restoration. Stop running on empty. Stop treating your soul like it can keep pouring without being refilled. Stop pushing past the warning signs as if depletion is proof of devotion. It is not. There is a holy kind of rest you have been resisting because you are so used to caring, striving, fixing, and enduring. But I am calling you now to come away with me. Sit down. Breathe. Let the noise settle. Let the pressure loosen. Return to the place where your spirit can be restored. Spend time with me without rushing. Read slowly. Pray honestly. Be still long enough for your thoughts to stop racing. Step back from what is constantly draining you. Release the unnecessary burdens. Cancel what does not need to be carried. Create room for quiet. Guard your mornings if you can. Guard your nights if you must. Protect the sacred spaces where I can refill what life have been emptying. My child, some of the confusion you feel is not because I am absent. Some of the heaviness you feel is not because I have abandoned you. Some of the resistance you feel is because you are trying to fight spiritual battles while emotionally, mentally, and spiritually depleted. Let me restore you before you try to run again. Let me strengthen your heart before you take on another assignment. Let me breathe life into the places that have gone dull from overuse and undernourishment. I am not asking you to quit. I am asking you to return. Come back to me. Rest in me. Let me refill you. The blessing you are praying for will be easier to recognize, easier to carry, and easier to steward when your soul is no longer starving while your life keeps demanding more. My child, now we have reached the deepest place, the place beneath all the others, and I need you to listen with your whole heart because this is where everything begins to turn. The greatest thing blocking your blessings is not only the fear, the worry, the old pain, the distractions, or the delays. Beneath all of it, the real battle is this: you have not fully surrendered yet. You have given me pieces, but not the whole room. You have invited me into the pain when it becomes unbearable, but you still keep certain doors locked. You have asked for my help, but you still want to control the outcome. You have wanted my promises, but you have hesitated when surrender asked you to trust me without seeing every step. And I say this to you with love so deep that it reaches the places you still hide from yourself. Partial surrender keeps your soul divided. It keeps you pulled in two directions. One part of you wants peace. Another part still clings to what feels familiar. One part of you asks me to lead. Another part keeps reaching for the wheel. That inner split is exhausting you. It is why some doors feel closed but not fully open. It is why some prayers feel near but not yet settled. My child, I am not asking for surrender because I want to take from you. I am asking for surrender because I want to free you. I cannot fully fill what you keep tightly sealed. I cannot fully heal what you keep hidden behind polite prayers and half-open hands. So come now. Do not delay this moment. Stop negotiating. Stop postponing. Stop telling yourself you will surrender later when things feel safer, calmer, clearer. Come now. Bring me the private struggle. Bring me the habit you defend. Bring me the relationship you know I have been speaking about. Bring me the fear you keep feeding. Bring me the plan you keep clutching. Bring me the identity you built to survive. Bring me the control, the resentment, the compromise, the hidden grief, the secret exhaustion, the places where you still say, "Not this, Lord." Place it all in my hands. Do not hold back. Do not clean it up first. Just come. Let your surrender become real. Let it have weight. Let it have action. Let it change what you choose after this moment. Because when surrender becomes complete, what was blocked begins to break. What was delayed begins to move. What felt sealed begins to open. I am not far from you, my child. I am right here, ready to lift what has been crushing you and ready to release what has been waiting for your yes. So say yes now. Open your heart now. Step fully into my hands now. This is the turning point. This is where the chains crack, where the burden breaks, where the blessing begins to breathe again. And when you surrender completely, you will not lose yourself. You will finally find the life I was always trying to give you. My child, now that you stand at this turning point of full surrender, let your yes become visible through your action. Surrender is not only what you release, it is what you choose, what you sow, what you align with in faith. When you give into this work, you are saying, Lord, I trust you completely, even with what I hold. I have declared, give and it will be given to you, and this is not a distant promise. It is alive in this very moment. Your seed becomes a river that carries my word across nations, breaking chains, awakening hearts, and calling my children back home. This is holy ground, a divine appointment where your obedience unlocks movement in both your life and the lives of others. I will meet you in your surrender and overwhelm you with what only I can provide: peace, provision, and open doors no one can shut. Do not leave this moment unchanged. Act now, give through super thanks, join as a member, or sow through PayPal in the description, and step fully into the life I have prepared for you. Before you leave, do this with bold faith. Comment, I remove every blockage now. My blessing is coming, and make it your declaration before heaven. Do not scroll past this moment like it is ordinary, because what you speak in faith can become the key that unlocks what has been delayed. If this message found the exact place you have been struggling, then seal it with your own words and type, Lord, I surrender what was blocking me. Let this be your line in the sand, your holy turning point, your moment of release. What you let go of today, I can turn into the very doorway of the blessing you have been praying for. Because many of the things weighing down your spirit were never meant to stay attached to you forever. Some of the pain you carry has followed you for so long that it has started to feel normal, like a permanent part of your life. But I want you to understand something today, my child. The blessings I have prepared for you cannot fully bloom while your heart remains chained to old wounds, bitterness, and silent sorrow. I know how deeply certain moments affected you. I know how difficult it has been to release the hurt, especially when the apology never came and the people who caused the pain moved on as if nothing happened. Yet even now, I am gently calling you toward freedom. Not because your pain was small, but because your future is greater than the weight of what has been holding you back. So before you move into the next season I have prepared for you, let me speak directly into the hidden places where your heart still aches. My beloved child, listen to me carefully today. I am speaking directly to your heart right now. I see the heavy weight you carry on your shoulders. You wake up with it, and you go to sleep with it. I see the face you picture in your mind when the room goes quiet. I know exactly who hurt you. I know the words they said that cut you deep. I see the family tension that you never talk about, the betrayal by a friend you trusted, and the unfair treatment at your job where you felt completely overlooked. You are holding on to an old debt, waiting for an apology that may never come. But I tell you now, my precious one, you must let it go. Pause now. Take a deep breath in my presence. Do you feel that knot in your stomach? That is not from me. Let us undo it together today. Look at the resentment you are holding tightly in your hands. It is a dark, Heavy poison. You think you are protecting yourself by staying angry, but you are only drinking poison and hoping the other person suffers. This anger clouds your spiritual vision. Because you are constantly looking backward at what they did to you, you cannot see the beautiful blessings I am placing right in front of you. You miss the open doors because you are staring at a closed one. Stop looking at your past pain. Turn your eyes back to me. I have so much goodness waiting for you, but your hands are too full of old hurts to receive my new gifts. Drop the baggage. Drop it right now. Remember my mercy, my child. Think about the countless times you stumbled, the mistakes you made in secret, and the moments you walked away from my path. I forgave you instantly. I wiped your slate clean with my unconditional love. I did not hold your debts against you. Now I am asking you to do the same for them. Your mercy toward others is deeply connected to the flow of my mercy in your life. When you lock someone else in the prison of your unforgiveness, you leave yourself in the cell right next to them. Hand me the key. Unlock the door. Forgive them not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You deserve to sleep soundly at night without the ghosts of the past haunting your mind. Release the person who caused you pain. Speak it out loud if you must. Say, I forgive them and I release them into your hands. When you do this, you break the heavy chains that hold you back. The enemy uses your anger as a legal right to steal your joy. He uses your bitterness to block the miracles I have prepared for your family, your finances, and your future. Take away his power today. Shut the door on his lies. Do not let him use your pain to keep you stuck in the same sad cycle. You are my child, and I paid for your freedom. You do not belong in chains. Step out of the dark and into the freedom of a clean heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the heavy burden falling off your back. Feel how light you are now. Feel my warm light wrapping around you, melting away the cold bitterness. I am washing your heart clean today. I am healing the deep cuts and bruises they left behind. I am filling those empty, wounded spaces with my perfect, endless love. Move forward today with a light heart. Smile again. Trust again. I am with you, holding your hand, leading you out of the shadows and into a bright, blessed morning. Do not look back. Your best days are just ahead, waiting for you to walk into them with a pure, forgiving heart. My beloved, look closely at your days. I see you rushing from the very moment you wake up. You check your phone before you even say good morning to me. You are chasing the next promotion, the next paycheck, and the temporary comfort of a screen to numb your exhausted mind. I see exactly what sits on the throne of your heart. It is not always a wicked thing. Sometimes it is your career, your genuine desire to provide for your family, or your desperate need to feel secure. But when your career or your comfort comes before my presence, you are building a modern idol. You are giving your best, most vibrant energy to things that will eventually fade away into dust. Pause and reflect on this right now. Are you truly satisfied? You work so incredibly hard, yet you feel an unexplainable, aching emptiness inside. That emptiness is a sacred space only I can fill. You seek fulfillment in worldly gains, but it is exactly like drinking salt water. It only leaves you more desperately thirsty. You buy things hoping to feel better, but the peace does not last past the checkout line. You work late hours hoping to secure your future, but you completely lose your joy in the present moment. This constant distraction creates a massive, solid barrier to my blessings. I want to pour out my supernatural favor upon you, but your hands are simply too full of the world to receive it. Put down the heavy load of your ambition today. Stop running the exhausting, endless race that society tells you to run. I am calling you back to your first love. I am gently inviting you to sit with me in the quiet. Return your heart to me right now. I am the true source of your success, your lasting peace, and your eternal security. When you put me first, everything else magically falls into its rightful place. I will handle the intense job pressure you feel. I will take care of your financial worries. But I need your attention. I need your sincere devotion. Do not let the loud, chaotic noise of the world drown out my gentle, guiding whisper. Make intentional time for me today. Give me the first quiet moments of your morning and the last reflective thoughts of your night. Align your priorities with my eternal truth. When you seek my kingdom first, all these other things you worry about will be given to you effortlessly. You are so busy trying to build a kingdom for yourself that you are entirely missing the beautiful kingdom I have already built for you. Let go of the exhausting need to control everything around you. Trust me with your daily, practical needs. I am your faithful provider. I am your ultimate shelter. I am the one who gives you the breath in your lungs and the strength in your bones. Do not worship the creation. Worship me, your Creator. Come back to me with a sincere, open heart. I am waiting for you with wide open arms, ready to restore the joy and peace that this frantic world has stolen from you. Choose me today and watch how I dramatically transform your busy, stressful life into a beautiful journey of deep purpose and profound rest. Feel the heavy pressure lifting off your chest right now as you read these words. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone, not to your boss, not to your friends, and certainly not to society. Your true value is already eternally determined by my unfailing love for you. Stop measuring your success by what you own or how much you achieve. Measure it by the unshakable peace in your soul. I invite you to lay down your modern idols today. Let me take the highest seat in your life. When I am on the throne of your heart, you will never walk in confusion. You will walk in clear purpose, massive power, and divine favor. My precious child, pay close attention to the words you speak every single day. I hear every sentence that leaves your lips. I hear the anxious complaints you mutter under your breath when you look at your bank account. I hear the bitter frustration you vent to your coworkers when things go wrong. I hear the cruel, negative things you say about yourself when you look in the mirror. You do not realize the immense, life-altering power you hold right there in your mouth. There is the literal power of life and death in your words. When you constantly complain, you are scattering toxic seeds of strife and lack into your own future. You are building invisible walls that halt the flow of my abundant provision. Stop cursing your own life. Stop speaking absolute failure over the beautiful life I have blessed. You wonder why you feel so stuck, yet you constantly talk about how terrible things are. You say out loud, I never have enough money, or nothing good ever happens to me. My child, your words are profoundly powerful. You are actively prophesying your own ongoing defeat. I desperately want to change your reality, but you must first completely change your confession. Instead of speaking endlessly about your lack, start speaking boldly about my abundance. Instead of describing the size of your problem, start declaring the size of my promises. I have given you the spiritual authority to shift the very atmosphere in your home. Use your words to fiercely build up, not to tear down. I also see the hidden danger of gossip in your life. I hear when you willingly join in conversations that speak ill of my other children. This deeply grieves my spirit. When you judge others and casually share their failures, you invite a dark negativity straight into your own heart. Walk away from those toxic conversations immediately. Refuse to be a dumping ground for other people's bitter complaints. Keep your tongue pure and clean. Speak radical kindness. Speak generous grace. When you protect the dignity of others, I will fiercely protect yours. Build a strong hedge of protection around your family with holy, uplifting, positive speech. Change your daily habits today. I invite you to start a brand new practice right now. Wake up every morning and speak vibrant life over your day. Say out loud with confidence, I am deeply blessed by God. I am highly favored. I have more than enough. God is making a clear way for me. Speak these unshakable truths even when your current reality looks incredibly dark. Your faith is directly activated by your voice. Do not wait for the situation to change before you begin to praise me. Praise me first, and watch the situation change in response. I am actively listening for your bold voice of faith. Your words are exactly like a steering wheel, guiding the ultimate direction of your entire life. Turn the wheel sharply toward hope. Turn the wheel directly toward victory. I am absolutely ready to unleash a massive flood of blessings upon you, but you must agree with my plans using your own voice. Cast out the destructive vocabulary of fear and failure from your mind. You are a cherished child of the Almighty King. Speak like true royalty. Declare my goodness over your physical health, your precious children, and your daily work. As you fundamentally change your words, you will see my hand move powerfully in your life, turning every bitter situation into a sweet testimony of my grace. Feel the shift happening in your spirit right now. Decide in this exact moment that your mouth will be an instrument of peace and power. When the urge to complain fiercely rises up, close your eyes and ask me for a word of deep gratitude instead. Replace every bitter comment with a thankful prayer. This simple, profound change will open doors that have been tightly locked for years. I am waiting to hear your loud declarations of faith. Speak life, my beloved, and watch the dead things in your life beautifully bloom once again. My precious one, let us look gently at the heavy, thick armor you are wearing every day. You have built a massive fortress around yourself, and its name is pride. I see how you stubbornly refuse to ask for help when you are completely and utterly overwhelmed. I watch you carefully hide your deep struggles just to look strong and successful in front of your friends and family. I see the sheer exhaustion in your eyes from the constant, endless race to keep up with your neighbors, to prove you are valuable, and to always have the final word in every argument. You truly think this heavy armor protects you from getting hurt, but it is actually only crushing your spirit. I strongly resist the proud, but I give abundant, overflowing grace to the humble. Why do I resist the proud? Because pride loudly tells me that you do not need me at all. Pride is the deep, dangerous deception that makes you think you are the sole source of your own success. When things go perfectly well, you quickly pat yourself on the back. But when I lovingly send someone to guide or correct you, you become immediately defensive and incredibly angry. You stubbornly refuse to be led by my spirit because you desperately want to remain in total control. But your control is a fragile illusion. The crushing weight of managing your whole world alone is breaking you down entirely. I am asking you right now to take off that heavy, exhausting armor. Lower your tall defenses. There is immense, unbreakable strength found in total, complete dependence on me. It is perfectly okay to say, I do not know what to do. It is perfectly okay to admit that you are incredibly tired and that you have made foolish mistakes. When you lower yourself gracefully, you create the exact, perfect space I need to step in and lift you up powerfully. I deeply want to exalt you, but I cannot lift a heart that is already puffed up tightly with its own self-importance. Bow your head today. Surrender your exhausting need to be right all the time. Think deeply about the profound peace that comes when you completely stop competing with everyone around you. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone ever again. You are my unique masterpiece. You do not need to constantly boast, for my pure glory naturally shines through you when you are genuinely humble. Let go of the toxic stubbornness that keeps you trapped in pointless arguments. Apologize quickly when you are wrong. Be the very first to seek genuine reconciliation. This is the true, beautiful path of spiritual maturity and lasting peace. I invite you to embrace the soft, comfortable garments of my grace today. Let me be your strong defender. You do not have to personally fight every single battle or desperately try to win every debate. Trust confidently that I will powerfully protect your reputation when you walk in quiet humility. Come to me exactly as a little child, dependent, trusting, and deeply eager to be led. When you completely empty yourself of your own toxic pride, I will fill you to the brim with my divine wisdom and unshakable peace. Walk softly and gently on this earth. Treat others with deep gentleness, knowing perfectly well that you too are deeply in need of my daily mercy. Release the heavy pressure of perfection right now. You are completely safe in my hands, and my grace is far more than enough for you today. Feel the tense muscles melting from your tired shoulders as you surrender this desperate need to control. You are finally allowed to rest. You are allowed to let me take the wheel. I see the real, beautiful you behind the strong mask, and I love you exactly as you are. Breathe in my refreshing grace. Breathe out your exhausting pride. Let us walk forward together in the beautiful, peaceful rhythm of genuine humility. This is where your true, lasting power truly lies. My beloved, just as I am asking you to completely lay down your heavy armor of pride, I am inviting you to step boldly into the ultimate posture of humility, extravagant generosity. I am directly calling you to partner with me in permanently removing the massive blockages in the lives of millions who are desperately hurting. Your financial support today is the exact, holy vessel that carries this liberating message to a shattered soul wandering blindly in the dark. When you joyfully sow your seed here, you are actively pouring sacred oil onto the flickering, dying lamps of the lost. Remember my eternal promise: give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running completely over. I profoundly promise to massively multiply your seed, heavily protect your daily finances, and unleash unprecedented, undeniable favor upon your entire household. This is absolutely a divine, urgent appointment to break the dark spirit of lack and activate a massive, overflowing harvest in your life. Support this holy mission right now through a super thanks. Become a channel member, or use the PayPal link in the description to violently unlock the heavy windows of heaven today. My precious child, do not turn away from me now. We have only just begun to unearth the heavy stones holding you back. It would deeply break my heart if you close your ears exactly at the moment I am preparing your massive breakthrough. The enemy desperately wants you to click away, to distract you, and to keep you comfortably numb. But I am pleading with you. Stay with me. Honor my voice right now, for the next words I speak will be the very key to your absolute freedom. Keep listening, my beloved. My child, I feel the frantic racing of your heart. I see you waking up at 3 in the morning, staring blankly at the dark ceiling, your tired mind spinning wildly with terrible, worst-case scenarios. I see the gripping fear of losing your job, the deep worry about your children's safety, the twisting anxiety over medical test results, and the crushing, heavy weight of the constant what-ifs. You are currently living under the cold, dark, oppressive shadow of chronic fear. But I tell you right now, fear is a direct, complete contradiction to my perfect love. My perfect love casts out all fear, yet you are holding incredibly tightly to your worries, treating them as if they are true, undeniable prophecies of your future. This chronic anxiety is literally paralyzing you. I have explicitly ordered bold, exciting steps of faith for you to take, but you are frozen solid, simply too afraid to move 1 inch forward. You are entirely missing out on the abundant, joyful life I promised because you are terrified of making a mistake. You must clearly recognize today that this fear is not just a passing, natural feeling. It is an evil spirit meant to torment you continuously. It is a dark whisper from the enemy designed specifically to steal your peace and shrink your world. I absolutely did not give you a spirit of fear. I gave you a spirit of mighty power, of deep love, and of a sound, completely calm mind. I command you to immediately stop carrying the heavy weight of tomorrow. Cast your intense cares upon me, right now in this exact moment. Do you know exactly why you can freely cast them on me? Because I care for you incredibly deeply, and my shoulders are broad enough to carry the weight of the entire world effortlessly. You absolutely cannot fix the future by endlessly worrying about it. You only drain the vital strength you desperately need for today. When the what-ifs loudly and aggressively echo in your mind, what if I fail? What if they leave? What if the money totally runs out? I want you to boldly answer them with my eternal I am. I am your ultimate provider. I am your miraculous healer. I am your fierce, unyielding protector. I am the profound peace right in the middle of your raging, terrifying storm. You are currently facing an uncertain season, but your God is absolutely, unquestionably certain. I know the beautiful end from the very beginning, and I have already carefully paved a safe way for you. Find your fierce courage only in me. Take a very deep breath right now. Breathe in my absolute, unshakable sovereignty. Breathe out your wild panic. Do not let the dark shadow of fear dictate your important choices today. Step boldly out of the dark shadow and directly into my marvelous, warm light. Walk confidently with your head held extremely high, not because your current circumstances are perfect, but because your Almighty God is entirely faithful. When the terrifying feeling of panic tries to tightly grip your chest, speak my name out loud with authority. Say, Jesus, I trust you completely. You are in total control. I am standing right directly beside you, holding your right hand tightly. I will never let you fall. I will absolutely not let you be destroyed. You are completely and eternally safe with me. Let my profound peace, which totally passes all human understanding, actively guard your heart and your mind today and forever. Feel the incredible warmth of my presence tightly wrapping around you exactly like a heavy, comforting blanket. The dark storm may rage fiercely outside, but deep inside your soul, there can be absolute, perfect stillness. Refuse to partner with anxiety for even one more second. You are a strong warrior of faith, entirely equipped to handle whatever comes your way because I am actively fighting for you. Trust my perfect plan, completely surrender your timeline, and step bravely and joyfully into the beautiful day I have made specifically for you. My precious child, I want you to look closely at the hidden rust that is quietly eating away at your joy. This rust is the spirit of ingratitude, and it settles onto your heart slowly, layer by layer, when you completely forget the miracles I have already performed for you. I see you walking through the rooms of your home, complaining endlessly about the mess, the repairs, and the lack of space. But pause for just a moment and remember the days, not so long ago, when you were desperately praying for the very roof that now sits over your head. I hear you groaning about the endless stress of your daily job, the heavy workload, and the frustrating commute. Yet you have entirely forgotten the tearful prayers you prayed when you were deeply worried about providing for your family and searching endlessly for an open door. You are currently standing squarely in the middle of your answered prayers, but a murmuring heart has made you completely blind to the manna of today. You are so intensely focused on what you do not have that you are entirely missing the profound beauty of what I have already placed in your hands. This constant complaining creates a heavy, toxic spiritual atmosphere around you. It pushes away the deep peace I want to give you and actively invites a dark spirit of heaviness into your home. Think about the physical feeling of ungratefulness. It makes your chest feel tight, your mind feel exhausted, and your days feel incredibly long and dreary. I am calling you today to fundamentally shift the very atmosphere of your life by choosing a radically thankful soul. Gratitude is not just a polite response. It is a massive, heavy, golden key that effortlessly unlocks doors that have been stubbornly jammed shut for years. When you intentionally practice counting your blessings one by one, you completely disarm the enemy who wants to convince you that I have abandoned you. You actively remind your own weary soul that I am exceedingly good, relentlessly faithful, and always working deeply on your behalf. I invite you to start honoring me in the small, seemingly insignificant things today, so that you may joyfully receive the great things tomorrow. Wake up tomorrow morning, plant your feet firmly on the floor, and before you ask me for a single new thing, spend 5 minutes thanking me for what is already yours. Thank me for the warm breath in your lungs, the steady beating of your heart, the laughter of your loved ones, and the quiet grace that woke you up. When you deliberately praise me in the middle of your ordinary, messy life, you build a powerful altar of worship right in your living room. Do not let the corrosive rust of discontent destroy the beautiful life we are building together. Polish your heart with vibrant praise. Wash away the bitter complaints with a flood of deep, genuine thanksgiving. I promise you this: a heart that is constantly grateful will absolutely never run out of amazing things to be grateful for. Open your eyes wide today, my beloved. Notice the tiny, beautiful details of my love scattered all around you. Let your home ring loudly with the beautiful, uplifting sound of profound gratitude, and watch how quickly I pour out fresh, new blessings upon a heart that truly appreciates them. My beloved, listen to the urgent truth I am speaking over your life right now. I see the dangerous, quiet apathy that has slowly crept into your daily routine. You are suffering from a deep spiritual laziness, a lukewarm spirit that is deeply dangerous in these critical, final hours. I watch you scroll endlessly through glowing screens for hours, completely numbing your exhausted mind with the meaningless noise of the world, while your Bible gathers thick dust on the bedside table. You hit the snooze button on your prayer life day after day, constantly promising me that you will seek my face tomorrow, but tomorrow simply becomes another day of absolute neglect. You are waiting passively for a spectacular, life-changing miracle to drop directly into your lap, without being willing to do the necessary, foundational work of preparing the ground. You feel incredibly empty, deeply drained, and constantly running on fumes, but you are mistakenly treating a severe spiritual starvation with mere physical rest. Sleep will absolutely not cure the deep exhaustion of a soul that has completely disconnected from its true maker. You must actively renew your fierce zeal for the things of my kingdom. I did not profoundly save you, heal you, and explicitly call you by name so that you could comfortably sleepwalk through your entire life. I have placed extraordinary, specific talents deep inside you. I have given you vital time, powerful resources, and incredible, divine influence. You are currently burying these precious gifts in the dirt of your own apathy, terrified of the effort it takes to multiply them. But I am fiercely calling you to strict, faithful stewardship. Waken right now from this dark, heavy slumber to fiercely seize your divine appointment. Put the distracting screen down. Wash your face. Shake off the heavy lethargy that tightly binds your limbs. I command you to vigorously fan the dying, cold embers of your faith back into a roaring, unquenchable flame. You must intentionally rebuild the sacred discipline of the secret place. Give me your absolute best, most alert hours, not the exhausted, leftover scraps of your weary day. When you open my word, do not just casually skim the pages to fulfill a dry religious duty. Aggressively search it like a desperately hungry person looking for vital bread. Pray with intense, burning passion. Fight fiercely for your family, your future, and your God-given purpose on your knees. Do you truly hear the urgency in my voice? The world around you is incredibly dark, and I urgently need you to burn with a brilliant, blinding light. The enemy aggressively counts on your laziness to keep your massive, inherent power completely locked away. Disappoint him today. Stand up tall. Make a firm, unbending decision that you will no longer be a passive, lukewarm spectator in your own spiritual journey. You have a magnificent, vital race to run, and I have explicitly ordered your unique steps. Go a hard line right now. Reclaim your wasted time. Reclaim your lost passion. When you take one single, determined step of incredible effort toward me, I will instantly meet you with a massive, overwhelming wave of my supernatural grace, energizing you to run tirelessly and never grow faint. My beloved child, look around at the overwhelming, loud clutter you have allowed to fill your precious mind. You are constantly subjected to the intense, aggressive pull of a chaotic culture that actively mocks my holiness and deeply despises my eternal truth. I see how incredibly hard you try to simply fit in, casually laughing at crude jokes in the workplace, endlessly binge-watching shows that actively celebrate sin, and constantly modifying your core beliefs just so the dark world will not reject you. You have carelessly opened the sacred gates of your heart to a massive flood of ungodly influence, and it is actively choking the vibrant, spiritual life right out of you. You cannot drink from the toxic, polluted well of this modern culture and then wonder why your spirit feels so incredibly sick, weak, and disconnected from my presence. I am urgently calling you into the beautiful, necessary process of deep sanctification. I am calling you to be entirely set apart. Friendship with this dark, fallen world is absolute enmity with me. You cannot enthusiastically hold hands with the very things that nailed me to the cross. I deeply desire to pour my pure, fresh, living water into you, but your vessel is currently clogged with the muddy, toxic sludge of worldly desires. You constantly crave the shiny, empty approval of strangers online. You aggressively chase the shallow, fake luxury that the world loudly insists will make you happy. You must fundamentally purify your deepest desires today to perfectly match my divine, perfect will for your life. It is absolutely possible to live powerfully inside this world without being of this world. You must aggressively guard your eyes and your ears. Stop casually allowing toxic, fearful, and impure media to play constantly in the background of your home. Stop feeding your precious, eternal soul with the trash of a culture that is rapidly passing away. I command you to clean out your spiritual temple today. Throw out the harmful idols of comparison, the dark obsession with status, and the desperate, exhausting need to be culturally relevant. I do not want you to be relevant. I want you to be revolutionary. I want you to be a blazing, undeniable light in a deeply compromised, dark generation. Make a firm, unbending commitment today to heavily filter everything that enters your mind through the pure, perfect lens of my word. If it does not actively bring you absolute peace, if it does not inspire true holiness, and if it does not vividly reflect my immense love, you must aggressively cut it out of your life. When you intentionally clear out the loud, worldly clutter, you will suddenly hear my gentle, guiding voice with crystal clear precision. You will easily recognize my perfect leading. Do not be terrified of being different. Do not be afraid of being called peculiar by those who are entirely lost in the dark. Embrace your incredibly beautiful, holy distinction. Stand out boldly, my child. When you fully reject the cheap, empty thrills of this fleeting world, I will instantly reward you with the profound, unshakable, eternal joy of my absolute, manifest presence. As you fiercely throw out the cheap, toxic clutter of this worldly culture, I strongly invite you to intentionally invest your precious resources into exactly what is eternal and true. I am extending a sacred, personal invitation for you to actively partner with me in purifying and saving this incredibly dark generation. Your financial gift is the mighty, deafening trumpet blast that heavily carries my holy truth to desperate, broken people currently drowning in the world's vicious lies. Every single dollar you bravely release is a blazing torch carried directly into the coldest, darkest valleys, setting chained captives completely free. Listen to my voice. Do not store up for yourselves fragile treasures on earth where moths and rust destroy, but store up massive, unshakable treasures in heaven. As you faithfully finance my massive kingdom, I will fiercely guard your home, dramatically increase your earthly harvest, and overwhelm your daily life with divine, unstoppable provision. Do not hesitate, for this is the exact, critical moment to permanently break the heavy chains of worldly attachment and step directly into your undeniable kingdom authority. Sow your powerful seed immediately by giving a super thanks, joining as a dedicated member, or strictly using the PayPal link in the description below. My beloved, I see your weary mind trying to drift, but I fiercely urge you, do not abandon this sacred conversation. It deeply grieves my Holy Spirit when you walk away while I am in the very middle of doing deep surgery on your soul. If you stop listening now, you will leave your beautiful heart wide open and unfinished in the dark wilderness. I have massive, breathtaking revelations waiting for you just ahead. Anchor your spirit, silence your worldly distractions, and press deeply into my presence. I am absolutely not finished with you yet. My precious one, I see how tightly your hands are clenched right now. You are holding on with a fearful, desperate grip to your money, your resources, your time, and your energy. You constantly operate under a dark, oppressive spirit of scarcity, deeply terrified that if you give anything away, you will not have nearly enough left for yourself or your family. You intensely watch the news. You worry endlessly about the failing economy, and out of sheer, blinding fear, you hold back the tithes and offerings I have explicitly commanded you to release. But listen to me with absolute clarity. Your tight-fisted, fearful stinginess is actively and aggressively constricting the massive flow of my divine favor over your life. You must deeply understand the unchangeable, eternal law of sowing and reaping in my kingdom. My spiritual math does not work like human math. In your mind, giving something away equals a permanent loss. But in my kingdom, generous giving is the planting of a high, powerful seed that guarantees a massive, overflowing harvest. When you stubbornly withhold what truly belongs to me, you are actually robbing yourself of the very miraculous provision you are desperately praying for. You urgently ask me to massively bless your deeply strained finances, but I am asking you today to finally trust me with your faithful obedience. If you cannot trust me with 10% of your earthly income, how can you possibly trust me with your eternal, absolute salvation? I want to completely transform you from a stagnant, blocked reservoir into a fast-flowing, life-giving river. A reservoir hoards water until it becomes dark, bitter, and totally stagnant. But a river constantly flows, powerfully bringing vibrant life to everything it violently touches, and it absolutely never runs dry because it is directly connected to an infinite, hidden source. I am that infinite, unending source. I am forcefully commanding you today to instantly open your hands. Let go of the intense, paralyzing fear of not having enough. Begin to enthusiastically and joyfully trust me with your tithes and your generous offerings. But do not just stop at the financial tithe. I am deeply calling you to become a daily, massive conduit of blessing for the poor, the broken, and the overlooked people actively placed in your path. When you see a neighbor in deep need, do not instantly turn your face away. When you feel the quiet, internal nudge of my spirit to pay for someone's meal, to give away a piece of clothing, or to radically help a stranger, you must obey instantly without second-guessing the cost. The overwhelming joy of living with a completely open, trusting hand will deeply radically shift your entire perspective on life. You will physically feel the heavy, suffocating weight of greed completely shatter and fall off your shoulders. I powerfully promise to aggressively open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so massive, so incredibly profound, that you will not have enough room to contain it. But you must take the terrifying first step. Open your clenched fist right now. Release your tight control. Radically give with a profoundly cheerful heart, and prepare to actively watch the Creator of the universe outgive you in ways that will leave you absolutely breathless with wonder. My child, look at your exhausted hands. You are trying so incredibly hard to fix absolutely everything by yourself. You stay awake until 3 in the morning, staring blindly at your phone, endlessly researching human solutions to your massive problems. You are desperately trying to fix your rebellious teenager, your deeply struggling marriage, your declining health, and your rapidly sinking business. You constantly rely on your own logic, your own social connections, and your own physical strength. But I am telling you today, your absolute self-reliance is a massive, crushing deception. Your own wisdom, no matter how much you read or tirelessly study, is complete foolishness when you try to operate entirely outside of my divine will. You are carrying a crushing, suffocating weight that you were simply never designed to carry. The sheer, deep exhaustion you feel right now in your bones is the direct result of trying to do my job. Stop trying to furiously heal what only I have the power to heal. Stop trying to aggressively force open doors that I have intentionally locked for your own absolute protection. I invite you to completely surrender your carefully crafted plans to me today. You hold on to your timeline so tightly that your knuckles are turning white. You demand that things happen exactly when you want them, exactly how you vividly envisioned them. But my ways are so much higher than your human ways. The frustrating delay you are experiencing right now is absolutely not my rejection. It is my loving, careful preparation. I am asking you to deeply learn the beautiful, sometimes uncomfortable art of waiting on my perfect, flawless timing. When you violently force things to happen in your own strength, you give birth to utter chaos. When you wait patiently on my spirit, you give birth to a lasting, beautiful miracle. Put down your heavy, useless tools. Take a very deep, long breath. Surrender the intense, burning desire to be the sole author of your own story. Let me hold the pen again. You absolutely hate the terrible feeling of being weak. You intensely despise the moments when you cannot quickly figure out the perfect answer. But listen to me carefully. My immense, unstoppable power is made absolutely perfect in your exact moments of deepest weakness. When you reach the total, terrifying end of yourself, that is precisely where I aggressively begin. Your human weakness is not a shameful failure. It is the perfect, necessary stage for my divine glory to shine massively through you. I command you to stop constantly hiding your deep struggles. Bring your total confusion directly to me. Tell me clearly, Lord, I do not know what to do next. That simple, incredibly honest prayer instantly opens the massive floodgates of heaven on your behalf. I am actively waiting for you to step completely out of the driver's seat. I will perfectly direct your daily steps, but you must first completely acknowledge me in all your ways. You cannot just casually ask for my blessing on a rigid plan you have already made without me. Bring me your empty slate. Ask me for my divine, perfect blueprint. I see the incredible, burning frustration that loudly bubbles up when you feel completely out of control. I know how much you desperately want to guarantee a safe, perfect outcome for yourself and the people you deeply love. But true safety is never found in your human ability to control the fragile future. It is found exclusively in your complete, total surrender to the God who holds the entire future in His hands. Yield your proud, stubborn heart today. Release the heavy, exhausting, terrible burden of playing God in your own life. Step down permanently from the throne of control. When you finally admit that you are completely powerless without me, I will instantly fill you with a supernatural strength that the dark world cannot possibly understand and absolutely cannot take away. Your greatest, most magnificent victory will begin the very moment you totally surrender. My beloved, let us speak gently, but very firmly about the bitter, dark root that is actively poisoning your precious soul. I see exactly how you silently replay old, painful hurts in your mind like a tragic movie on an endless, exhausting loop. You remember the exact, cruel tone of their voice when they insulted you. You remember the exact, sickening feeling in the pit of your stomach when they brutally betrayed your deep trust. You constantly nurse these painful memories, falsely thinking that your cold anger somehow heavily protects you from being hurt again. But this toxic, heavy bitterness is a massive, incredibly dangerous infection. It does not just passively stay contained in the small corner of your heart. It aggressively bleeds out and deeply defiles absolutely everything and everyone it violently touches. I see how your sharp, impatient words severely wound your innocent children when you are secretly, deeply angry at someone else entirely. I see how your icy coldness actively damages your marriage because you are still fighting dark ghosts from your distant past. I command you to stop watering this destructive, thorny plant that I absolutely did not plant in your soul. You are actively feeding a terrible monster that is slowly, methodically eating away your daily joy, your physical health, and your deep spiritual peace. You desperately seek total justice, and you deeply want them to pay heavily for what they did to you. But holding on to this toxic, burning resentment is exactly like drinking a deadly poison yourself and eagerly waiting for the other person to die. It is completely destroying you, my child. It is keeping you locked tightly in a dark, suffocating, miserable prison while the person who hurt you is completely unaware of your daily, agonizing torment. I am powerfully offering you the heavy master key to that prison door right now. That massive key is total, radical, unconditional forgiveness. I am deeply calling you to actively seek my supernatural healing for the deep, ugly scars of your painful past. You cannot simply casually ignore the deep pain or aggressively bury it under a frantic, busy schedule. Bring those raw, actively bleeding wounds directly to me. I am the great, perfect physician. Let me gently pour my soothing, warm oil of grace directly over the dark memories that constantly keep you wide awake at night. I ask you to do something that feels incredibly impossible to your logical human mind. I command you to actively, loudly bless those who have violently cursed you. Pray sincerely for the specific person who brutally broke your heart. Pray for the jealous coworker who maliciously lied about you. Pray for the family member who callously abandoned you when you needed them the most. When you bravely open your mouth to bless your enemies, you completely, violently shatter the heavy, iron chains of bitterness that the enemy has wrapped tightly around your neck. Uproot this massive, dark, choking weed today. Pull it entirely out of the rich soil of your heart, taking all its deep roots with it. Refuse to let it steal even one more single day of your beautiful, short life. Choose the profound, refreshing sweetness of a spirit completely and totally restored by my unfailing love. When you finally permanently release the desperate, exhausting demand for an apology, I will instantly step in and be your perfect, fierce vindicator. I will fiercely and powerfully defend you. I will miraculously restore exactly what the dark locusts have eaten away. Feel the heavy, suffocating dark cloud rapidly lifting from your mind right now as you make the bold, difficult decision to totally forgive. Breathe in my fresh, incredibly clean air. Taste the sweet, exhilarating freedom that powerfully comes when you completely empty your heavy heart of all toxic hatred. You are deeply, completely, and intensely loved by me, and that profound love is infinitely more than enough to perfectly heal every single broken piece of your beautiful heart. Let it go completely today. Step fully and bravely into the bright, warm, healing sunshine of my absolute grace. My beloved, we need to have a very serious, urgent conversation today about the specific people you currently allow deep into your inner circle. I watch you carefully every single day, and I clearly see the deep, heavy, exhausting toll that unholy, toxic alliances are taking on your precious, fragile spirit. You are currently intimately connected with people who absolutely do not walk in my pure ways. You stubbornly stay in a toxic, emotionally draining relationship out of sheer, desperate, blinding loneliness, constantly hoping you can somehow magically change them. You actively partner with dishonest, shady, compromised individuals in your business out of a frantic, blinding fear of total financial failure. You closely, willingly surround yourself with loud voices that constantly mock my eternal truth, wildly and openly celebrate sin, and aggressively, consistently pull you away from your divine, holy purpose. You innocently and foolishly think you are strong enough to positively influence them. But the absolute, terrifying truth is, their bad, dark company is rapidly and brutally corrupting your good, holy character. I command you to immediately, decisively stop mixing your pure, brilliant, holy light with their deep, heavy, suffocating darkness. You absolutely cannot soar high like a majestic, powerful eagle if you constantly insist on walking with people who are utterly, happily content to peck at the dirty ground. This is a very critical, defining, vital season in your entire life, and the exact, specific company you carefully keep will completely and totally determine the trajectory of your entire, beautiful future. The toxic, dramatic friends who constantly drain your vital energy, the business partners who casually and frequently encourage you to compromise your strict, holy integrity, and the dark companions who constantly feed your deepest, darkest fears. They are a massive, incredibly dangerous trap specifically and carefully designed by the enemy to completely derail your massive divine destiny. I am deeply, powerfully calling you to brutally evaluate every single relationship in your life right now through the pure, perfect, holy lens of my Holy Spirit. You must actively, aggressively seek my supreme, divine wisdom before entering into any deep partnerships, signing any contracts, or making close, intimate friendships. Stop freely giving total, unfiltered access to your sacred, precious heart to people who do not deeply, genuinely value my presence. I completely know it hurts immensely to let go of familiar, comfortable faces. I know the intense, paralyzing fear of standing entirely alone makes you severely hesitate. But I powerfully promise you with absolute, undeniable certainty, when you boldly, bravely clear out the wrong, toxic voices, I will miraculously and swiftly bring the perfect, right voices into your life. I will specifically, divinely align you with strong, faithful, powerful warriors who will aggressively, constantly sharpen your iron. I will completely surround you with genuine, deeply loving people who will pray fiercely for you in secret, heavily encourage your massive, God-given dreams, and hold you strictly, lovingly accountable to the incredibly high calling I have permanently placed on your life. Do not ever settle for cheap, shallow, worldly connections when I have deeply planned a rich, holy, powerful community for you within the powerful body of Christ. Find the brave, sold-out people who actively, fiercely run toward me, and aggressively run alongside them. Release the heavy, toxic, dead relationships completely today. Send them away with genuine grace and love, but permanently, firmly close the door to their daily, dark influence over your mind. You are a set apart, deeply chosen, incredibly valuable vessel, completely meant for noble, highly honorable purposes. Do not severely contaminate your beautiful, sacred calling by stubbornly attaching yourself to things that are rapidly dying and decaying. Take a very bold, totally decisive, courageous step today. Completely sever the dark cords of unholy alliances. Trust me completely to deeply fill every single empty seat at your table with loyal, spirit-filled, incredible friends who will actively help you carry your heavy load and loudly, joyfully celebrate your incredible victories. Your absolute true, holy community is waiting directly for you. Step confidently and bravely away from the dark trap and walk directly into my brilliant, warm light. You have bravely and boldly decided to completely sever your toxic, unholy alliances, and now I strongly invite you to forge a powerful, unbreakable, holy alliance directly with this ministry. I am calling you by your exact name to partner with me right this second to fiercely rescue the broken who are deeply trapped in the enemy's dark snares. By actively supporting this channel, your resources are literally reaching directly into the deep pits of despair and aggressively pulling my lost sheep into the brilliant, warm light. You are actively scattering life-giving, miraculous seeds across barren soil, rapidly bringing forth a massive, vibrant forest of new believers. I declare this truth over you today. He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for fruit will absolutely supply and heavily multiply your seed for sowing. For your fierce, faithful generosity, I will instantly surround you with incredibly loyal friends, unmerited, spectacular favor, and absolute financial peace. The harvest is incredibly ripe today, and the desperate, agonizing cries of the lost demand a swift, immediate response from my true warriors. Solidify this powerful holy partnership right now by sending a super thanks, subscribing as a member, or clicking the PayPal link directly in the description. Listen to me closely, my child. You feel the heavy, sudden urge to stop. That is the dark enemy, completely terrified of what I am about to reveal to you next. It causes me profound sorrow when my children turn their backs just seconds before their total victory is declared. Do not break this divine connection. You owe it to your own beautiful future, and you owe it to the deep, relentless love I am pouring out for you right this second, to hear me until the very end. Stand firm and stay with me. My precious child, I clearly see the massive, crushing, suffocating boulder you are dragging heavily behind you every single, exhausting day. That incredibly heavy boulder is the terrible, dark burden of false guilt. I see exactly how you constantly, brutally beat yourself up over your past, distant parenting mistakes, the devastating financial ruins of yesterday, and the old, dark sins that you have already tearfully, genuinely confessed to me many years ago. You are currently living your life exactly as if my brutal, bloody, perfect sacrifice on the cross was simply not powerful enough to cover your human failures. You desperately and constantly try to pay for your own completely forgiven sins through constant, agonizing self-punishment and deep, paralyzing, dark shame. But listen to my loving voice with absolute clarity right now. You are actively, needlessly carrying a heavy burden that I completely, totally removed from your shoulders the exact, precise moment you asked for my forgiveness. You must urgently and immediately learn to distinguish directly between my holy, gentle, loving conviction and the enemy's cruel, relentless, crushing condemnation. When my pure spirit convicts you, I gently point out a specific wrong action to immediately draw you closer to my loving heart, so you can quickly repent and be totally, completely free. But when the dark enemy aggressively condemns you, he constantly and violently attacks your core identity, loudly whispering that you are a terrible person, a permanent, massive failure, and totally, completely beyond repair. He actively uses your dead past to completely paralyze your current beautiful future. I command you to aggressively, loudly silence the vicious voice of the accuser today with the absolute, unbending, eternal truth of my holy word. My immense, beautiful, completely perfect mercies are completely new for you every single morning without fail. The rising, brilliant sun today was a massive, visible, undeniable sign that I have explicitly given you a totally clean, perfectly pure slate. Stop violently, constantly digging up the dead, rotting bones of your past mistakes. I have completely thrown your forgiven sins into the deepest, darkest, absolute bottom of the ocean, and I have placed a firm, permanent no fishing sign exactly on the shore. Why do you constantly insist on diving back into those dark, bitter, cold waters to retrieve the garbage I have already permanently washed away? Refuse to be permanently defined by a difficult, incredibly painful season of failure. You absolutely made a terrible mistake. Yes, but you are absolutely not a mistake. You lost a massive, painful battle. Yes, but you have absolutely not lost the ultimate, eternal war. I strongly invite you to boldly walk in the stunning, incredibly powerful identity of a completely redeemed, deeply loved child of the Almighty God. Lift your heavy, exhausted, tired head right now. Straighten your slumped, weary shoulders. You have absolutely nothing to be deeply ashamed of ever again. My pure, holy, powerful blood has washed you completely, perfectly white as snow. When I look directly at you today, I absolutely do not see your past failures, your ugly, painful divorce, your dark, terrible addiction, or your deeply broken promises. I see my perfect, beautiful, cherished masterpiece. I see a brave, incredible warrior heavily refined and purified by the intense fire. Drop that massive, terrible boulder of false guilt right now exactly at the foot of my cross. Leave it there permanently and forever. Step forward today with a brilliantly light heart and a huge, genuine, joyful smile. You are completely, totally, and eternally forgiven. Accept this beautiful, entirely free gift right now, and fiercely allow yourself to finally, truly experience the profound, breathtaking, spectacular joy of absolute, unconditional freedom. My precious child, I see you wandering blindly through a thick, heavy, gray fog right now. You wake up every single morning feeling entirely disconnected, deeply confused, and utterly exhausted before your feet even touch the floor. You constantly wonder why your daily life feels so incredibly hard, and why you cannot seem to hear my guiding voice anymore. The absolute truth is, you have slowly, quietly stopped seeking my face. You have allowed the dark, suffocating fog of prayerlessness to roll directly into your life, completely blinding your spiritual vision. I see you rushing frantically out the door every day, immediately grabbing your phone, drinking your coffee, and diving headfirst into the chaotic demands of the world, without spending even 5 tiny minutes sitting quietly with me. You are desperately trying to survive on your own severely limited human strength, and it is completely, violently breaking you down. I strongly command you today to urgently rebuild the vital lifeline between heaven and earth. Prayer is absolutely not just a religious duty. It is your actual, breathing oxygen. When you stop praying, you slowly start suffocating your own spirit. I deeply miss hearing your genuine voice. I do not just want to hear from you when a massive emergency suddenly hits and you desperately need a quick favor. I want to actively commune with you. I want to carefully listen to your small, daily thoughts. I intensely desire to hold you closely in the quiet moments before the storm aggressively breaks. The greatest, Most massive battles in your life will absolutely never be won by your own frantic arguing or your endless human striving. Your most spectacular victories will only be won directly on your knees, completely out of sight, in the quiet, secret place with me. Move entirely beyond the shallow habit of just asking me for a long list of things you want. I invite you into a deep, beautiful, two-way conversation. Develop a patient, tender heart that actively listens just as much as it speaks. When you sit completely still in my presence, the heavy, confusing fog instantly begins to lift. I powerfully blow away the dark confusion, and I replace it with crystal clear, divine direction. Do you truly want to see a massive, impossible breakthrough in your family, your physical health, or your strained finances? Then I deeply invite you to embrace the powerful, holy weapons of fasting and fervent prayer. Put down your heavy fork. Turn off the loud television. Intentionally step away from the endless noise of the world for a specific season, and fiercely turn your absolute attention directly to me. When you intentionally deny your temporary, physical flesh to actively feed your eternal spirit, you demonstrate a fierce, undeniable hunger for my presence that I simply cannot ignore. I powerfully promise you today, if you boldly draw near to me, I will instantly, forcefully draw near to you. I will rapidly dissolve the heavy fog of depression and anxiety. I will completely open your blind eyes to vividly see the beautiful, clear path I have explicitly prepared for you. Start talking to me again today, my beloved. Tell me everything. I am waiting patiently, and I am leaning in incredibly closely just to hear the beautiful, sweet sound of your voice. My beloved, I urgently need you to stop looking sideways at the people around you. I see you sitting quietly in the dark, scrolling endlessly on your screen, intensely staring at the shiny, filtered, perfect lives of others. You feel a sharp, painful sting deep in your chest when you see their massive success, their beautiful new homes, their happy marriages, and their rapid promotions. You quietly whisper in the dark, "Why not me, Lord? Why are they receiving the very blessing I have been desperately crying out for?" This dark, insidious spirit of comparison is actively, violently rotting your bones and completely killing your daily joy. You must completely understand today that constantly staring at your neighbor's beautiful blessing makes you entirely blind to the incredible, customized blessings I have placed directly into your own hands. I did not carefully create you to run their specific race. I have explicitly set an entirely unique, beautiful, specific race directly in front of you, and absolutely no one else on this earth can run it but you. When you constantly compare your difficult, messy middle to their shiny, perfect end, you falsely conclude that I have entirely forgotten you. But I absolutely have not forgotten you, my precious child. Your beautiful blueprint is completely different because your ultimate, massive destiny is totally different. The intense, deep preparation you are walking through right now is absolutely necessary for the incredible, massive weight of glory I am preparing specifically for your future. Do not despise your own journey. Stop trying to furiously squeeze your unique, magnificent life into a cheap, generic mold created by a deeply flawed society. I command you to violently uproot the dark, ugly weed of envy today. Envy violently tells you that my supply of blessings is somehow limited, that if someone else wins, you must automatically lose. But my kingdom is absolutely infinite. My massive rivers of grace never, ever run dry. I challenge you to bravely do something that completely destroys the enemy's power. Aggressively, loudly celebrate the amazing victories of others. When someone gets the exact thing you deeply desire, be the very first person to joyfully congratulate them. When you actively choose to wildly celebrate their breakthrough, you instantly invite that exact same breakthrough into your own life. You effectively tell the spiritual realm that you totally trust my perfect goodness. I strongly invite you to be completely, profoundly content in your now while you actively prepare for your next. Trust my flawless perfect timing for your specific, divine promotion. I heavily protect you by making you wait. I am carefully building deep, strong character inside you so that when I finally hand you the massive blessing, it will completely bless you and not totally destroy you. Take your eyes entirely off the people standing to your left and your right. Fix your eyes completely, intensely on me. You are completely enough exactly as you are. Your specific portion is incredibly beautiful. Step totally out of the exhausting, toxic race of comparison today. Rest peacefully in the absolute certainty that my specific plan for your life is completely, breathtakingly perfect, and your specific, spectacular moment is coming very, very soon. My precious one, I deeply feel the cold, heavy stone sitting exactly where your tender heart used to beautifully beat. I distinctly remember the sweet days when my gentle presence would make you weep with profound joy. I remember when reading my word would actively prick your conscience and easily lead you to swift, beautiful repentance. But life has been incredibly brutal, dark, and harsh to you. You have been violently betrayed, deeply abandoned, and constantly disappointed by the broken people you love the most. To simply survive the agonizing, crushing pain, you slowly, deliberately built a massive, cold wall of solid rock entirely around your emotions. You actively decided that it is much safer to feel absolutely nothing than to risk hurting that deeply ever again. Now, you sit quietly in the church service, you sing the familiar songs, and you casually say all the right, religious words, but you are totally, completely numb inside. I am speaking directly to your heavy, calloused heart right now. The immense danger of becoming intensely religious while totally losing the deep, intimate relationship with me is absolutely fatal to your spirit. You are effectively going through all the proper, religious motions, but the vibrant, passionate fire has completely burned out. You strictly follow all the rules, but you no longer feel my profound, overwhelming love. I strongly command you to completely stop hiding behind your cold, thick armor. The massive wall you heavily built to keep the intense pain out is precisely the exact same wall that is completely keeping my massive, healing power out. You must desperately ask me for a soft, beating heart of flesh to perfectly replace that cold, dead heart of stone. I actively invite you to boldly remain soft and tender in a dark world that is undeniably cold, brutal, and harsh. It takes incredibly massive, supernatural courage to keep your precious heart completely open when everything around you screams to aggressively shut it down. But you absolutely cannot successfully do this in your own human strength. You must intentionally seek my presence today with a genuinely broken, totally contrite spirit. Fall directly onto your knees and completely admit your deep numbness to me. Tell me clearly, Lord, I literally feel absolutely nothing. Please miraculously break my hard heart for what breaks yours. That is a dangerous, incredibly beautiful prayer that I will absolutely, instantly answer. Let my deep, perfect, overwhelming love violently melt the massive, thick ice you have carefully built. Allow yourself to truly feel again. Yes, it might initially hurt to let the raw emotions finally thaw, but that pain is simply the deep, surgical sting of absolute healing. I am actively operating on your spirit today. I am gently removing the bitter, cold resentment. I am thoroughly washing away the deep, thick layers of spiritual apathy. Do not be completely afraid to heavily weep in my presence. Your pure tears are absolutely sacred to me. They are actively watering the dry, dead soil of your soul. Return totally to the deep, passionate romance of our first love. Step entirely out of dead, dry religion and step fully, completely back into the vibrant, beautiful, messy, incredible reality of a living, breathing, burning relationship with your Creator. I am holding your heart in my hands today, and I am breathing brand new, beautiful life directly into it. Just as I am tenderly replacing your cold, heavy heart of stone with a beautifully beating heart of flesh, I am asking you to let that newfound, deep compassion radically overflow into physical action. I am specifically inviting you to tightly join my hands today in actively binding up the deeply wounded, bleeding hearts scattered across the nations. Your crucial, immediate support acts exactly as my soothing, healing balm, reaching isolated souls who are desperately suffocating in their own silent, agonizing pain. Every seed you joyfully and fiercely plant today forcefully opens a massive, rushing river of living water in a dry, dead, and thirsty spiritual wasteland. Truly I tell you with absolute authority, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did it directly for me. Because you generously and fiercely care for my flock, I will miraculously thaw your frozen finances, abundantly bless your family line, and aggressively open heavy doors that absolutely no man can shut. This is absolutely not a casual moment. It is a rapid, urgent rescue mission, and your immediate obedience is the exact key to someone else's survival. Activate your deep compassion immediately by offering a super thanks, choosing a channel membership, or giving bravely through the PayPal link in the description. My precious one, we are standing on the very edge of your promised land right now. Do not dare let go of my hand. It brings tears to my eyes when you endure the exhausting battle only to surrender to cheap distraction directly at the finish line. I have explicitly reserved the greatest, most powerful, life-altering anointing for these final moments we are sharing together. Honor my heart by giving me your absolute, undivided attention. Your life is about to change forever, but you must stay with me to receive the final seal. Keep listening. My beloved child, I intensely see exactly where you are frantically placing your deep hope right now, and it completely breaks my heart. You constantly stare at the confusing news, frantically hoping the government will finally fix the massive chaos. You intensely obsess over your bank accounts, actively believing that a slightly larger number will ultimately buy you absolute, unbreakable security. You heavily trust the words of human doctors and earthly experts entirely more than you trust the eternal, unchangeable promises of the great physician. You are constantly building your precious, beautiful house directly on shifting, sinking sand. You must deeply and urgently realize today that absolutely everything in this temporary, fallen world that can be violently shaken will eventually be shaken. Your human money will fail, human leaders will deeply disappoint you, and human bodies will falter. If your ultimate peace is totally tied to these extremely fragile, temporary things, you will live your entire life in a state of absolute, constant panic. I command you today to urgently and entirely shift the heavy weight of your trust off the fragile world and directly onto my strong shoulders. I am your absolute, unmovable rock. I am your totally impenetrable fortress in the middle of the darkest, most violent storm. When the massive economy crashes, when the terrifying diagnosis is spoken, when the dark world around you seems to completely fall apart, my eternal kingdom absolutely remains the only entirely unshakable foundation in existence. Why do you constantly lean so heavily on your own severely limited, human understanding when the entire world totally fails you? Your human logic can only see one tiny, confusing inch in front of your face, but I powerfully see the entire, massive, glorious eternity. Make a firm, unyielding decision right this exact moment to completely move your deep trust. Stop intensely expecting broken, flawed human beings to give you the perfect peace that only I can miraculously provide. I strongly invite you to deeply root yourself totally in the absolute, undeniable truth of my word. When you build your daily life exclusively on my eternal promises, the violent winds can howl, The massive floods can rise aggressively, and the heavy rain can beat violently against your house, but you will absolutely not fall. You will stand perfectly firm, completely untouched by the surrounding devastation, because you are heavily anchored directly to the Creator of the universe. Take a massive, incredibly deep breath right now. Release the intense, blinding fear of tomorrow. Release your frantic, desperate grip on your physical money, your earthly career, and your fragile, human plans. Look directly up at me. Say it loudly, with absolute, unwavering conviction. Lord, you are my only true source. You are my absolute provider. I trust you entirely, completely, and forever. When you practically, actively move your complete trust from the visible, fading world to the invisible, eternal God, you completely instantly strip the dark enemy of all his power to terrify you. You will begin to walk through very dark, uncertain, terrifying valleys with a bright, massive, confident smile on your face, completely knowing that your God is in absolute, total control. Trust me completely today, my beautiful child. I have never failed, I will never fail, and I will absolutely, certainly never, ever fail you. My precious child, I clearly see the deep, heavy exhaustion written all over your face. I watch you pushing your tired body and your completely drained mind to the absolute breaking point. You genuinely believe that if you just work a few more hours, answer just a few more emails late at night, or hustle straight through the weekend, you will finally get ahead. You live in a loud, demanding world that constantly glorifies complete burnout and actively praises non-stop busyness. But I am fiercely telling you today, the spiritual and physical cost of constantly running entirely on your own human strength is utterly destroying you. You are completely neglecting the vital, holy rhythm of rest that I specifically established at the very beginning of creation. If I, the Almighty Creator of the entire universe, took a specific day to rest, why do you stubbornly believe you are somehow entirely exempt from this holy command? I see the heavy guilt that instantly attacks your mind the very second you sit down to rest on your couch. The dark enemy loudly whispers that you are being lazy, that you are falling behind your peers, and that everything will completely fall apart if you close your eyes for just 1 hour. But you must absolutely recognize right now that your personal worth is absolutely not tied to your daily productivity. I do not love you one bit more when you cross 20 items off your busy to-do list, and I do not love you one bit less when you simply sit quietly and do absolutely nothing. You are my beloved child, entirely valued simply because you exist, not because of what you can frantically produce for the world. I strongly command you to completely stop this exhausting, endless treadmill today. Honor the holy rhythm of the Sabbath rest. Taking a full day to completely disconnect from your heavy work, your glowing screens, and your endless chores is not a weak suggestion. It is a vital, protective commandment specifically designed to keep you alive and spiritually vibrant. When you actively choose to rest, you are making a massive, powerful declaration of deep faith. You are loudly telling the spiritual realm, I completely trust that my God is fiercely working on my behalf while I am resting. Do you truly believe I can do significantly more with your problem in 1 single second than you can do in 10 years of frantic, exhausting striving? I actively invite you to deeply prevent complete spiritual burnout by actively abiding in the quiet, peaceful shadow of my wings. Put your heavy phone in another room. Turn off the loud, stressful news. Take a very deep, long breath. Give your physical body the deep, healing sleep it desperately needs. Give your frantic mind the absolute silence it intensely craves. When you completely surrender your urgent timeline and simply sit quietly with me, I will miraculously multiply your time. I will heavily restore your lost energy. I will renew your weary soul in the profound, beautiful stillness of my presence. Let go of the desperate, heavy need to constantly hustle. I am the Lord of the Sabbath, and I am powerfully calling you directly into my perfect, deep, refreshing rest right now. Close your eyes today and fully accept this beautiful, necessary gift without a single drop of guilt. My beloved, let us speak very directly about the heavy, exhausting burden of your own human mind. I clearly see how you desperately try to logically figure absolutely everything out before you take even one small step of faith. When you face a massive crisis, your very first instinct is to aggressively research it, to frantically read what human experts say, and to build a massive, logical spreadsheet of possible solutions. You deeply value human knowledge and earthly logic entirely more than you value my divine, supernatural revelation. But I am telling you today, this deep deception of intellectualism is actively completely blocking your greatest miracles. You are desperately trying to perfectly fit the infinite, boundless creator of the universe into the tiny, restricted, logical box of your human understanding. The profound mystery of my divine ways completely and totally transcends your human logic. If you could easily understand exactly how I was going to bless you, it would absolutely not require any faith at all. I see the deep frustration you feel when my instructions make absolutely no logical sense to your practical mind. I tell you to forgive the person who owes you a massive apology. I tell you to heavily give away money when your own bank account is nearly empty. I tell you to step boldly into a new career when you have absolutely zero earthly qualifications. Your human brain instantly screams that this is totally foolish and incredibly reckless. But I heavily remind you today that my divine thoughts are infinitely higher than your human thoughts, and my perfect ways are infinitely higher than your limited ways. I strongly command you to deeply approach me today with the pure, completely humble heart of a trusting child. A very small child does not demand to see the exact blueprint of the house before they completely trust their loving Father to keep them safe. They simply trust the character of the Father. I ask you right now, do you truly trust my character? Do you totally believe that I am fiercely good, absolutely sovereign, and perfectly capable of handling your entire life? Then you must completely let go of the exhausting, heavy need to completely understand every single detail before you finally decide to obey me. I actively invite you to aggressively seek the pure spirit of wisdom, not just the loud, confusing spirit of this modern age. The dark world will constantly tell you to purely trust the science, trust the hard math, and trust the visible facts. But the visible facts completely change every single day. My eternal word absolutely never changes. When the terrifying medical report says one thing, but my eternal word explicitly says another, whose exact report will you ultimately choose to believe? Step boldly out of your safe, comfortable, intellectual boat today. Stop furiously arguing with me in your mind. Silence the loud, endless, analytical noise. Simple, raw obedience will always violently unlock the heavy doors that complex, human overthinking keeps permanently shut. Trust my heart today, my beautiful child, even when you absolutely cannot trace my hand. The miracle you desperately need is completely waiting for you exactly on the other side of your unquestioning, blind faith. My beloved child, we have finally arrived at the exact, defining line heavily drawn in the sand. I have spoken incredibly deeply into your heart today. I have explicitly named your hidden struggles, your dark fears, your secret sins, and the heavy chains that have bound you for years. And now, we are standing entirely at the absolute moment of choosing. You must make a firm, permanent decision right this exact second between your exhausting, broken way and my perfect, beautiful, completely sovereign way. You cannot casually walk away from this deep, divine conversation and simply return to the exact same, miserable life you were living yesterday. I am powerfully demanding your absolute, unconditional, total surrender right now. I do not just want a small, convenient piece of your Sunday morning. I violently want your entire, beautiful heart, your entire mind, and your entire life. I fiercely command you to carefully gather every single heavy burden, every toxic blockage, every bitter resentment, and every dark fear we have discussed today. Carry them all directly to the foot of my cross right now and completely drop them. Take your hands completely off of them. You absolutely cannot fix yourself. You absolutely cannot save yourself. Stop fighting me. Stop furiously wrestling with my Holy Spirit. Raise your empty hands exactly right now, right wherever you are sitting, and boldly declare out loud, Lord, I give up. I completely, totally surrender it all to you. Have your absolute, perfect way in me. This is the exact, beautiful moment your entire, massive breakthrough begins. I powerfully promise you with absolute certainty today, the very moment you completely let go, the massive floodgates of heaven will violently burst wide open upon your fierce obedience. You are actively stepping out of the dark, grueling season of waiting and directly entering the breathtaking season of suddenly. Suddenly, the heavy doors will swing wide open. Suddenly, the perfect, necessary finances will effortlessly arrive. Suddenly, the deep, agonizing pain in your physical body will completely vanish. Suddenly, your deeply wayward child will return home. I am actively, aggressively moving into your exact situation this very minute, bringing massive, divine, impossible restoration to absolutely everything the enemy has stolen from you over the years. The deep, profound, unshakable peace that completely surpasses all human logic is actively taking permanent root in your soul right now. Feel it aggressively washing over you from the top of your head to the very bottom of your feet. You are totally clean. You are heavily protected. You are fiercely loved beyond any human measure. Walk boldly forward from this exact moment as a pure, totally prepared vessel exactly meant for my glorious use. Keep your eyes completely locked entirely on me. Do not ever look back at the dark garbage you just left behind. Your greatest, most spectacular days are absolutely not behind you. They are heavily, beautifully waiting for you directly ahead. Stand up incredibly strong today, my precious, chosen child. The dark, terrifying battle is totally, completely won, and the beautiful, magnificent victory is entirely, eternally yours. Amen. Now that you have completely dropped every heavy burden and totally surrendered absolutely everything at the foot of my cross, I strongly invite you to take the ultimate, massive step of fierce faith. I am personally calling you to forcefully push back the heavy darkness by financially supporting the continuous, global broadcast of my uncompromised, powerful word. Your generous giving is the literal, physical vehicle that delivers this exact, life-saving message of ultimate breakthrough to millions sitting right now in absolute, terrifying despair. You are actively bringing the fresh, vital manna of heaven directly to starving multitudes, instantly igniting a massive, unquenchable wildfire of revival across the entire globe. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse and completely test me in this. See if I will not violently throw open the massive floodgates of heaven and pour out so much spectacular blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. As you courageously and happily release your seed, I will dramatically break the heavy back of poverty in your life, fiercely shield your daily resources, and command an incredible overflow of breathtaking prosperity. The massive, heavy dam has finally broken. This is your absolute divine hour to permanently remove the spirit of lack and eternally secure your legacy. Seal your absolute surrender and fiercely fuel this holy mission right now by giving a super thanks, becoming a faithful member, or sowing directly through the PayPal link below. My beloved child, the heavy stones blocking your path have been completely shattered. and the massive floodgates of heaven are violently bursting open for you right now. I deeply invite you to fiercely seal this divine breakthrough by bringing your faith out of the shadows and directly into the light. Go to the comments below and boldly declare with absolute, unwavering conviction, Lord, I remove every blockage today, and I am entirely ready to receive my promised blessing. When you type those exact words, you are drawing a permanent, unbreakable line in the sand, actively destroying the enemy's grip and stepping directly into your magnificent new destiny. Do not hesitate for a single second. Claim your miraculous victory right now and watch how swiftly and powerfully I move in your life today. Amen.